Hello everyone and welcome. It's, well, you can read it. It's the final round of xDefiant. So, why are we here? How did we end up here? Basically, this game is dead. Ubisoft decided it doesn't make money. We're not gonna support it. Most of the studio has already paid severances. The studios, I don't know, I think they're going to be closed, like 2 studios are getting closed. I don't know about the main studio. This project is basically dead. This sucks. And yet, they put out one final, basically massive update where they said, play everything we have. For like, you all who played, you can keep playing until, the servers are shut down. Which is neat. I kind of wish they would, keep us, having our own servers and shit, but I guess we take what we get. So basically everything is now unlocked. Prestige is basically irrelevant. God damn it. Yeah, they added actually Prestige, so you could reset and replay, and like neat. Coming late though, a bit late, like everything just came kinda late. But what did they all add? So first of all, we got 3 factions. The Assassins and yeah, I mean, this is the... Also, hello, One Smart Cat. This is the one for the Assassin faction, by the way. I have to say them, though. Hot. And immaculate drip. Like, I was saying, I like the fact that this game didn't just, copy-pasted characters. I think one of the biggest strengths this game had was taking factions and using the style to make their own characters out of it. Which... it had a good coherency and also banger art styling, because those modern assassins look good. This is like, if someone comes at me and is like, these are modern assassins that use guns and everything. Yeah, that's a good combination of, the assassin style and techwear. And it's like, drip, that's good. That's good design. But yeah, as you can see, basically everything is unlocked, so I had some neat stuff here. But yeah. Next season there were planned to be the wolves. This is a personal thing. I kinda like this, super, heavy-clad military gear look. I just like it, I know some people are like, oh, this is a bit, I think some people call it cringe, but like, I genuinely like it, especially if actually have female characters that are just packed, that are not just like, oh, we need to still show boobs or slim waistline and make them fit. No, pack them in fucking armor, face plates, everything steel packed. That's a good design. I dig that. This is not enough nowadays, and. That's true, but also, like, I mean, to a degree, you can actually, lean into the fact that, I mean, you could definitely lean into the grunt, look, and, like, in this game, the wolves stand out, so, it's neat, they've thrown in that. This was supposed to be the next season, and the one afterwards was goddamn Blood Dragon. We only got Mullet Man. Whoops. But, god damn it, Ubisoft, you fucking robbed us of the female cyber commando. I am genuinely pissed. Like, Blood Dragon would have gotten a win for once. I know they had crossover stuff and shit, but like, we would have had a full fucking faction, and nope, it had to die. probably should play Blood Ring at some point, because like I know everyone's like, oh, how is it? It's like it's Far Cry 3, but also like the trashiest experience you will ever have in your life, and it's awesome. Like, you're riding a cyber dinosaur that, you know, that shoots laser out of its eyes. Is it simple? Yes. Is it still kind of cool? Yes. Like, I kind of like the idea that you have like, oh, hey, you're a cyborg, disregard speed penalties from weapon classes or attachments. That's actually, you know, again, that's cool shit. It's like, oh yeah, that's how they would fit in. And you're throwing shuriken. Because Cyborg Commando, obviously. But yeah, we have a lot of shit. Just to give an overview, basically they patched in the new maps. There is a Mykonos from you know, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, El Barrio from Far Cry. There's a Rayman map. They made a Rayman map. Killstar Temple is pretty sure that's you know, Blood Dragon. Razia's Realm, that's actually from the new Prince of Persia. So really weird looking map, but you know, it's the realm of a gene. And Scale City is, I think, from the Wolf, so you know, Ghost Recon Breakpoint. And also, when we go to Escort, we got Jorvik, Assassin's Creed, Esperanza, Himalaya, and Scale Complex. So, you know what? Let's just go. Oh. Play menu, unranked, new maps, linear mosh pit. They even had a new mode ready, you know, that is, you start in the middle and you push to either side, which also cool. This was still the one mode I really liked, actually. And it's just crap that it's gone. Also, I mean, you see, some stuff is unfinished, like, you know, it uses the UMP. But it's a Thompson. We can. Oh wait. Okay, I still need to unlock stuff apparently on it, but oh boy, you can. Oh wait. Oh. Oh yes, you can. This is even the old one. It's always interesting to see which kind of Thompson do games pick. The one with the bolt here in the middle is like the old one from 28. That one actually kind of sucks. So it's an interesting part. The M1A1, which I would say should be more in games actually, has the bolt, like the pullback on the side, because it's just a blowback at that point, I think. So it's like they just made it to an open bolt thing because they figured out, wait, we don't need that shit. But yeah, you can mod the fuck out of a Thompson. That's neat. Shotguns. Nothing new here. LMGs. MG5. That's new. So, neato. Oh yeah, M1 Grand basically. Let's just put some. No, let's just put all of them in here. They really had. Yeah, the FAMAS was added. God damn it, they had so much shit. It's just depressing. Oh, please find some people. I want to play. But yeah. The rough overview of what happened, and we can only piece it together actually, is they didn't get enough people. Like, from what we know from insiders, Ubisoft told them they should have 20,000 people playing on all platforms. This game has crossplay. You know, that's kind of reasonable, I'd say. Like, most bigger ones, like, you can get to... You probably don't get to, you know, 10,000 on one platform, but, you know, that can add up on all of them. If I, for example, look at... Because now everyone is, for example, was like, wait, why is For Honor still going then? Because that's for years now, which had a bigger player base. They had like 3,000 people on Steam. They probably have had a smaller, you know, amount of a smaller target to reach because they're a smaller studio. But still, like, it wasn't unreasonable, I would say. They fucked it up. Why? So a lot of stuff is being thrown around. Actually, I'm very interested in Himalaya. Like, Esperanza still, like, we have two Far Cry ones in here, but I'm, like, very interested in what Himalaya... That's definitely Far Cry 4. Also, it's called Himalaya. That just sounds cool. It would be interesting if that's actually just a blockout map, but hey. I like blockouts. And it sucks. Like, I've played this game since the alphas, actually. I was someone who said, no, look at it. That is a good one. And I stand by that. It's still a good game. They had some really good stuff lined up. They just drip-fed the shit out of it. And then, yeah, what can we say? Oh yeah, let's just do this. Let's say, you know, Thompson, let's go. I'm very sure I saw Ash.O in matches before. Yep, that's Far Cry 4. It's neat looking. I mean, this is probably also one thing I would say they would definitely do different in the future. Is the fact that if they want to bring this game back, they need to have a different engine. Like, they got to, you know, they got to do a lot of stuff on there. But this is, you know, that's the engine from The Division. Again, an engine made for MMOs. Not, you know, to make handcrafted arena shooters. And also notoriously apparently hard to work with. So, yeah. It's kind of impressive what they pull off, you know, especially since they started doing a lot of different maps. Yep.
Medic! Anybody?
Oh yeah. I absolutely... Okay, yeah. I was already thinking that I would love the wolves the moment they were leaked, but like... It's an area denial faction. I really fucking love area denial in games. As I told you on Blue Sky, when I played Marvel Rivals, I played Penny Parker. It's like, I just love the idea that you can just, you know, mine the shit out of a place and then be like, fuck you. Doesn't sound that bad, actually. Maybe we should do, like, you know, Discord evening. I mean, there was... So there was an idea that we, you know, I brought it actually up, I think, last Friday, that we could also, you know, stream Marvel Rivals tomorrow, because Ruben isn't there. You know, he's moving and shit. Could have opened that up to the Discord and shit. Like, but I guess it's probably gonna be, you know, the Helldivers 2 update. Which I have to talk a bunch about, because, oh boy. But yeah. We should definitely do that. On Saturday it's gonna be, we're gonna have a movie night if you are interested. You know what? Let's look at something different. What do we have? FAMAS, yes, give me the FAMAS. I like FAMAS. Especially the, you know, the first version of the FAMAS is like, the second one I get why they did that. On Saturday we're gonna watch a Christmas movie. Oh. But yeah, actually, you know what? I will poke Zep that he also should install Marvel Rivals and stuff. Depending on how long we want to play Helldivers or anything, we should maybe put up a... we could definitely put up a lobby tomorrow. Because it's also a thing I just like... I really think Marvel Rivals does a lot of stuff better than Overwatch, and the more I think about it, I probably need to see if it's actually better than Overwatch. They, you know, even launched Overwatch. Might even be, which is, you know, impressive. But, damn it. Usually we start 1 hour later. But, you know, I just have to talk. I think Zep doesn't have work tomorrow anyway, so we could start tomorrow a bit more earlier, maybe. Have to see. We'll poke him. Though we'll poke him. The FAMAS. You know what? Having some of the German representation. Because, like, the sad part is, I get why they have it open, but also, let's just be real here. Like, Marvel Rivals really wants you to have more of a team thing, because if pubs are like, oh no, I'm just not gonna play this character now, I'm not gonna do this, I'm not gonna do that, you're like, buddy, we're having currently a good team synergy going, what the fuck, why are you not switching? Did someone just... So, yeah. At least, you know, that would be, that would help. Also, you know, if we actually get a something going, you would probably profit from that, because Agonia likes playing Venom. So you have the Venom combo up, that's useful. Yeah. God damn it, I hate the fact that this is... this didn't get anywhere further. Ah. I mean, basically it's just, you know, you press a button and you do extra damage. That's it. That's kind of it, you know? You press a button and you do extra damage in melee range. So, it's neat, I'd say. It's also a bit underwhelming, but considering how the spider characters are, they're actually pretty, oh, tried. I mean, the spider characters seem pretty strong. Yes. Oh, that goes actually pretty fast, so... Yeah, the patch is also new. God, it kind of sucks how much they added and then just... Yeah, no. Again, if it ever would come back, it would probably be, Oh! It's the... It's that goddamn one I just talked about that it's the Italian one again. I just talked during mouthwashing about... well. But yeah. It just kind of sucks that, you know, I'm sitting here in front of basically the end of xDefiant, a game I was like, shit. You know what? It kind of feels fitting that the one game I told everyone could be the new Dirty Bomb kind of goes out like Dirty Bomb. I mean, in Dirty Bomb it was kind of like, oh look, this is what we were working on in terms of character and the 2 maps we were working on, and it was like, why don't you release them? And apparently they weren't as far, and it kind of sucks, because there it was more like, you know, I don't know what is better, because in Dirty Bomb I was like, fuck you, the new character and the 2 maps look great. And here I can play all of them. God damn it, give us Esperanza. People like Himalaya, holy shit. And what happened? It's... yeah. Again, here at least I know what would have been... would have been. I can play it. That's cool, actually. Let's play some Mullet Man. Mullet Man with his Thompson. It's just... yeah, I can play it. I can see what would have been. I can actually... But it's also just makes me a little bit more...
Zone control. Attacking team.
Meh, you know? At least, you know, Dirty Bomb is still there and I can play all of it, but... yeah, it's Mullet Man, but like, look at it. Yes, shurikens. Cyber Commando. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if he was kept being called Mullet Man even in the final game, because it's fucking Blood Dragon. I don't know if you've played Blood Dragon, but Blood Dragon is just like that. Blood Dragon is just a very, very cheesy game, like... It wouldn't surprise me if, you know, they just called their, if they called their, you know, specialist, like, Mullet Man, Cyborg Girl, or something like that. You're like, oh, why are you called like that? And I'm just like, listen, everyone, you're talking, like, you really want more nuance from a game where the protagonist is called Sergeant Rex Power Cold? I repeat, you play as Sergeant Rex Power Cold in Blood Dragon. it obviously a faction is called. You have a character called Mullet Man. Oh my god, I killed him. Yes. Okay, sorry. It's just like, yes. Cyber Shuriken. I mean, the irony is that's the throwing knife from other games. And I know at least, you know, in Delta Force that's also the ability of one character. But like, Cyber Shuriken is more fun.
Secure the capture zones.
You can clearly feel that, you know, they were not fully designed because like that countdown is, you know, that reload is horrible. Yes. Die. Eat Cyber Shurikens. The Mullet Man is coming for you. Oh, the second part. Ooh. That looks neat again. Oh, yeah. I should probably even take the LMG. Like, I'm a cyborg. My ability is that I don't have movement penalties, which is, I mean, again, actually really neat idea for a character class. Like, I kept saying they needed more offensive ones, and the Iron Man from, you know, Udon was quite good anyway, so... I really like that the, wolves are not full tanks, but like area control. It's just nice. Yes. Ah, fuck. Yeah. Honestly, I mean, even if it wasn't Mullet Man in the end, I hope it would have been some cheesy name because, yeah. I kind of wish they would have also done like Let's just slap some more shit on this. Yes. Yes. Can't. Oh. No. Not yet. Wait, I wanted to...
Only one capture zone remaining.
Yes. Yeah, way faster actually. Yeah, you know what? Himalaya is good. A lot of the, you know, later season ones are like... A lot of the launch attack defense maps are, you know, good. But, you know, not... you know, outstanding. They don't have, you know, the visual stuff. They don't have... I love the extra flair, you know? And... Shit, this one has it. Oh, we're going into... Ooh, we're going into a temple. Ah, yes.
Nothing cleans like burning.
I mean, the irony about this is... I'd still say, you know, the attack defense mode is probably one of the better parts of this game. Like, I still say they should focus on that, and... I mean, similar in Marvel Rivals, I think, you know... The whole... Oh, we're just also having King of the Hill because Overwatch had that. It's like, listen, no. So why isn't it in the middle there? go.
Ultra available.
And there we go.
Switching
Mullet Man
teams.
saves the day.
Defenders.
Let's take the shock punch. Do we want to rock something else? You know what? It's just like, I mean, yeah, if someone would ask me, hey, how would you bring back xDefiant? I would say, hey, I would take out the arena modes, I would do it attack defense only, because that's the strength of the game.
Prevent
Start with more
hostiles from
factions.
capturing all zones within the time limit.
And probably make it a bit more, you know, I don't know how I would do it even, like, I think one of the dumbest parts is that, okay. What?
Target down.
Retaliatory strike!
Neutralized. Capture
Okay.
zone lost. Defend the capture zones. New loadout detected.
I will just see, you know, next time I will actually heat out of, I will heat out of, you know, lobbies if there's, still Himalaya coming up. I can get it, this is a fun map. I like the, you know, the mix of, from going from close quarters to more open. It's good. And generally I think, if this, you know, if this game was, you know, attack defense, and more themed around one series or just two, probably would have worked better.
Down. Hostile forces reduced.
But then again, holy shit, then at that point you could make your own one. Ah! I dash forward and stun them. I definitely should use an MP with that. Meaning...
You're an assassin initiate now. Taking a life is never easy, but somehow I think you'll manage.
Oh yeah, that is the special ability of the assassins. You actually insta-kill in, like, when you hit someone in melee range. Which is like, yeah, you're just playing Call of Duty 4 with them.
Oh, my foes revealed.
Doing your thing.
Time to hunt.
God damn it. I'm not really vibing with that.
Last zone. It must sit. Enemy spy tracking us with sonar goggles. Every assassin's nightmare. Fight's almost done.
God damn it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There we go. I mean,
History is written by the victors, which would be us.
okay, actually I'm out of the loop on Assassin's Creed lore. I kinda tuned out after the third one. Did the Assassins actually win? I knew they had moles. You know, it really didn't go as hot for them, so... Did they? Oh well. How's it going otherwise? Hope everyone had a good week so far. It's weirdly hectic outside. Like, I mean, Christmas is next Tuesday. I'm still fully expecting shit to be kind of, you know, hectic then. But right now I'm like... People are just weirdly like, oh no, the world is ending. Everything will be bought empty by Tuesday. Before Tuesday, I'm like, the fuck? I mean, I still need to check out, think what I will do then, but like, the plan is simple. I'm gonna go and buy the ingredients on Monday, and Tuesday's gonna be chill. No work. I will just... It's Christmas time, you know? You're just gonna enjoy that as much as you can. As good as you can, I'd say. So let's give us some of the other ones. I want to see either like Skell Complex or Esperanza. Because I do want to change into the other playlist and look at the... Okay, give us Esperanza edit. No more Himalaya. Thank you. No! I'm gonna bust this lobby if you all don't... Hello? Esperanza? Come on, 2 more votes. 2 more votes. Fuck you all. Death to Himalaya enjoyers. Which is me. Stop putting. I have a stream to do here, okay? I want to capture footage. I want to preserve some shit for the world. And everyone's like, I want to play on this one map specifically because it doesn't have an icon properly. I'm making the biggest strawman here I can do, but I don't care. I would like to see also the Valhalla map. So again, let's see if Skull City and shit comes up and not Himalaya again. And then we can slowly go into the other playlists because yeah, I kind of want to show off the Rayman map and the Prince of Persia map. It's like, you know, you kind of want to. You kind of want to. Oh well. Yeah, that's... The matchmaking was always a little bit weird in this game, so that kind of just sucks. Oh yeah, you know what? That's one thing I could probably talk about while everyone is waiting anyway. I think we really need to talk about at some point how the whole discourse about gaming over the last decade specifically has basically made any gaming sphere into a primer for conspiracy. Fuck
now.
you!
Taking a life is never easy, but somehow I think you'll manage.
Defend those capture zones like they're my property.
Yeah, I think gaming spheres in general, and this isn't just, right-wing spheres. This is also a big problem in left-wing ones, quote-unquote left-wing leaning ones, is the fact that so many are just primers for conspiracy theories at this point. Like, you go online, okay? Onto supposed left-leaning ones. And aside from the whole, game journalists can't play video games, game journalists are, the enemy shit, which is, that's just Gamergate. I'm actually shocked that, this is just still regurgitated. Even by people who are like, oh yeah, you know what, I'm actually like pro... I don't want crunch and shit, and they're like, okay, cool, but why do you keep repeating Gamergate shit? At some point you should have realized that this was literally Gamergate shit. Because the thing about game journalism is like, why they became such a, focal point is that, a lot of them, a lot of people joined game journalism so the quality of reporting would be better, and it got better, a lot better actually.
Listen up, Wolf. We're doing this, Mom. Get on
Oh.
the zone, Nick. Simple.
The thing is just that...
Zones and test. Now,
Ooh,
load out train.
that looks good. The thing is just, that definitely got people out of, comfort zones. So they made, targets. And also, that is just one part. Then when I look at how much, people talk about, just generally about video games and how they're made, you can clearly see the pattern that people are very easy to fall into, like, publisher is evil and, the source of everything. And the devs, they're holy. They're on our side. They're fighting for us. And, you know, except if it's a studio they branded to be bad, then it's all on them. And I just sit here being like, and no one ever sat down and was like, ooh. And was like, is this maybe like this mentality alone might this be a breeding ground for, you know, right-wingers and like, maybe? Because it just keeps repeating itself. Even when people are, you know, confronted with, like, you know what I heard a lot of times? When people confront with the fact that the devs fucked up and not, you know, the publisher? One of the lines I heard a lot was, well, I choose to believe otherwise. Listen to the wording choice. Believe. They know they are wrong. They just don't want to pop that little bubble that the world is very, very, you know, messy. And it basically always comes down to that, isn't it? A lot of people sit down and just... lol. You were talking about conspiracy theories and one of the... okay, I guess. Typing. Anyway, it's just... you just keep having that. And like, and then people are like, oh, hey, why isn't shit improving? And like, I don't know. Maybe the moment you know, stop trying to make everything a good versus evil storyline, shit, you know, might improve, because people just keep throwing out stuff that is just literally made up bullshit. Or, you know, even when they're getting contra to that, they still refuse that. It still slips out. Like, here's the thing. People like to say, oh, Sony spent over 400 million on, you know, how was it called again? Concord. It was such a bust, and now they need to squeeze every one of their gaming properties, and yeah, that's kind of wrong, because, as, you know, people like Jason Schreier already confirmed, no, they don't know where that 400 million came from. Concord never had that kind of budget. So they never spent even remotely that kind of money on that game. It was, like, and the most obvious sign for that is, if Concord cost them 400 million, it would have been still here. It would have been relaunched as a free-to-play game. Because, like, it's wild to me that I need to spell this out. But you do not get a studio and game you slammed over $400 million in the... And even that, like, now we had the whole, oh no, are they going to buy Kadokawa? And then very, very quickly everyone put it out, no, they don't have the money. And now it turns out they just bought a bigger stake. Not even the majority, like they're the majority, like the biggest one, the biggest stakeholder. But it's 10%. And that was still a big amount of money. So, like, the fuck? Do you really think this company would have just, you know, let the game die they spent 400 million on? The fact, this is, again, the fact they were like, nope, Concord and that studio is not gonna be able to, we are not able to save that. That is like the biggest sign that they never paid that much money on it. Probably was everything very average. And then the studio, you know, didn't have anything to show for again. And that was that. The studio was gone. Again, wild that I need to point this out, actually. If it was 400, Concord would still be here. they would want to recuperate that money. Like, I mean, you could say, "Oh, hey, you're not the CEO. You do not know how they think." Yeah, I can tell you one thing: there are paradigms companies work after, and that is, you know, you do not fucking just write off something you spent 400 million on. At that point, you fucking panic, and would look for every other way to make some money off of that. Because right now, you know, that's the thing. Closing the studio was something they deemed alright. This was a loss they could shoulder. 400 million would not have been that kind of loss. Period. It wouldn't. They would have, again, they would have said, slam it into free-to-play, get it out there, just make some money off it. Even if they never regained the 400 million, if that game just ran, you know, for 2 more years and made like a fourth or a half of the money in, they probably would have been like, yeah, that's fine. But again, 400 million would have done some. Again, wild that this needs to be pointed out. This is like, the whole point of, oh, they spend so much money is literally fucking dismissed by the fact they closed the studio. But then the narrative wouldn't be as juicy, wouldn't it? Because if they didn't do that, you can't blame all the other decisions on that. Like, recently, and I will probably talk about that tomorrow anyway, because it is just kind of wild, you know, the first collaboration in Helldivers 2 happened. It was a shit show. Why? Because, imagine this. So the general model of content in Helldivers 2, and there's a bunch to critique about that, but it's basically, you have a war bond with 3 pages that costs 1,000 super credits, so farmable, but I mean, it kind of sucks to farm. Anyway, it is farmable, but roughly translates to $10. You have in there armor, weapons, some cosmetics, and nowadays also some stratagems. That's it. That's how they usually did it. Now they announced, oh, we're going to have a collaboration with Killzone. Killzone 2 to be specific, which still makes me interested, like, interesting you specify 2. Remaster incoming, Sony? Would be neat. Anyway.
Anybody?
What is interesting is that they, this time, they slapped it into the Superstore. So every single bit is now price. So instead of paying 1,000 for all of it, you know, as with every other one they did so far, and it was one, people data mined it, it was a war bond, this was supposed to be 1,000, and then they changed it. You know, now they want you to pay 615 super credits for the gun, 500 for the armor, and the armor at point of speaking is still kind of one of the best armors you could have in the game, because it's a medium armor that has 50% reduction of damage to all elemental damages in the game. That's kind of good, just pointing that out for one, you know, for no particular reason. Interestingly, they now said, oh, yeah, sorry, kind of fucked up with that. I'm like, yeah, you did. So their course of action was, oh, the second part of this, we're just handing this out for free now for everyone. Okay, cool. That's not the part I have any problem with, you know? That's like, it's free shit. It's, you know, it's basically the same perk on an armor, on a light armor. So, pretty good, actually. It's 2 new weapons, so, yeah, fine. The rest is still in the Superstore. I get people I mean, people keep pretending the problem is fixed.
Really lean
Where?
in.
Like, this shit should be just handed out for free at this point. Just refund the super credits and hand it out for free. Simply due to one central fact. First of all, it's now longer in the store, so they're still banking on, whales and people with, especially neurodivergent people with impulse control problems, to just buy it. That's what they're banking on. And it will be, and if you remember the numbers, it is 1,115 super credits for the 2 relevant parts. Meaning, and they said, we're going to explore how it will return in the future, aka it's gonna be a war bond. Everyone who buys it now is basically fucked in the future. And the literal only reason they keep it up now is they really just want to make more money. They want to strap the fucking idiots that were buying it. Probably ran the numbers. And it's kind of sad that people are now like, oh, everything is fixed. What is fixed? You got free shit and you just forgot that the problem is still the same? I am very surprised that this is just doable, but again, at some point, this is another thing people apparently forget. A lot of gaming communities nowadays just build parasocial relationships, and really hard ones. And that's also not good. Like, I think the Helldiverse 2 community is probably a good example of someone who's just making shit up at this point and doesn't take no for an answer, even though they're deaf. Like, the thing that happens, what I just talked about before with the conspiracy theory, everyone instinctively blamed Sony. And then the CEO just said on Discord, no, this is 100% on us. The CEO. And people said, still want to believe it's Sony. I think you can spot the problem in all of this. Now I'm ranting here. But still, it's just the thing with, they are the evil ones that are coming to destroy us. And we have to support the good ones that will free us. While the reality is simple. Companies are not evil. They definitely tried something here. Wow, that is rough. Anyway. Companies are not evil, inherently. What they're doing can be bad, harmful, not well thought out. But the reality is, companies work on certain paradigms. And their main paradigm is making money. How they interpreted that is usually up to whoever works at that company. So, for example, yes, you can say something, the same people from Microsoft, EA, Activision, Sony, From Software, Nintendo, etc. They all are going to, their only goal is to make money. That is their paradigm because they're a company. How they are doing that is a completely different topic. Like, for example, one of the probably best examples is, in terms of, putting it side by side, is Valve is, running a store that right now is mostly doing, hey, indie devs and devs are telling us something is missing, they're adding it. Otherwise, they're just basically hands off. This has upsides. Steam is, by far, probably the best platform for indie games and mid-sized games to just make money. Period. That is good. It's also a right-wing infested hellhole because Valve doesn't want to do any kind of moderation. And at that point, it's probably a big part they don't want to spend the fucking money on it, but also they probably just don't. They just fear the fact that if they actually scare off the right-wingers, they don't sell shit anymore, which is bullshit. But anyway, this isn't, again, this is something that has a positive outcome for a lot of people because Valve wants to make money. Similarly now, if you look at, you know, other companies, like for example, recently, you know, EA and Sony, they all like, yeah, we should definitely make single-player games. People like those. We should make them. And like, yeah. And they're also like, and maybe some who are like, you know, longer supported ones. Like, you know, it's not unfair that after this year Sony points to Helldivers 2 because that makes money. And they're not wrong with, you know, people want games that are long supported. They just have to be unique. I really can't really argue against that because it's not a bad rationale. It's like, oh, everything is full in the, you know, live service market. Not really. The thing is, you know, everyone probably... it's just how you set it up. If you have a game that you can come back to all every once and then, and it's, you know, it's viable with that, fine, do it. That's actually a good business model. Also, Rayman map. Rayman map. I'm gonna play a Blood Dragon character on a Rayman map with a Thompson machine gun. Fuck yeah. It's kinda cool that this is doable. Hell yeah, Mullet Man. Let's give those forest creatures... oh god, this is just weird. But kinda, you know, weird in a good way. In a fun way, you know? That's that. But yeah, it's... like, yeah, companies are not your friend.
Occupy. Sinking
But also, I
allies.
think,
Capture
just to
zone
wrap back to
located.
everything. A lot of people forget
3,
that devs also
2,
want to make money.
1. Secure and defend the capture
Like-
zone.
Scanning for hostiles.
Time to hunt.
Scanning for hostiles.
Oh, nice bounce pads. Oh god, would have Rayman maps... the more weird ones would have bounce... this is almost an Unreal Tournament.
Capturing the zone.
I am very pissed right now. I am very pissed right now that this didn't get more support.
Capture zone under attack. Capture zone contested. Capturing the zone.
Hello. But yeah,
Capture zone changing
developers
location.
also just sometimes want, like,
Capture zone under attack.
they're not, like, developers are not
Down.
beings that just want to make games at any cost possible. They're just living for the art. They're humans and they sometimes also just want to make fucking money. But there are a bunch of games out there which are, you know, which were made because, you know, they wanted to make money. And a bunch of, you know, monetization decisions are not made by the publisher. They're not like some fucking greedy overlord. The publisher wants to make money. They're like, you know, they get a proposal and they greenlit it. They greenlight it, sorry. There's no, oh, you need to make this. There's usually, I mean, there are not a lot of companies who do this much micromanaging because, like, why? Bunch of times devs want to hit targets.
Capture zone changing location.
Devs make decisions. That's neat. Oh, yeah, I like that this is just a sprite. This has something. Definitely unfinished, but god damn it.
Capture zone under attack.
God damn it.
Securing the zone.
It's from the newer Rayman and not Rayman 3 and 2. But god damn it. I'm pissed.
Capture zone contested.
This map is cool. This map is legitimately cool.
Capture zone under attack.
Yeah.
Capture zone changing location.
Oi. And so sometimes devs also fuck up, but again, it's if you are looking for where the evil publishers interject into your gaming, first of all, you open yourself up to all those woke grifters.
Securing the zone.
Because, you know, shit sucks sometimes. Because simple as that, people make bad decisions. But when then someone comes, it's like, oh yeah, it's definitely that
Capture zone contested.
one evil publisher.
Defend the capture
You
zone.
know, and because they're injecting wokeness in something. Like shit, if everyone is already primed to just, you know, baseline, you know, not be critical and be like, oh, it's us versus them. And why are people wondering,
Capture zone changing
you know,
location.
that the woke rift has actually taken root? It shouldn't be surprising, you know?
Capture zone under attack.
Throwing grenade!
Capture zone changing location. Capture zone under attack. Securing the zone. Enemy down.
Oh, my phone. Reloading!
Ultra ready. Capture zone contested.
Listen up, Wolf. We're doing this my way. Now keep your head up. Taking the zone.
Oh well. Yeah. I mean, you know, saw a good video about, you know, the 7 Days Adventists recently, and it's kind of interesting if you really, you know, look at the similarities between their thinking and, you know, that church, because
Get after it.
for them, you know, the end times are coming. And, any moment now. But you have to look out for stuff like the Mark of the Beast. And if you ever heard that one, you probably are like, wait, that has been applied to nearly everything? Yeah. And you're probably thinking, wait a second. The gaming sphere isn't a doomsday cult. They're looking for the fucking Mark of the Beast because the doomsday cult in the gaming sphere is the second video game crash. If you look online, in every single sphere from left to right, people say there will be a video game crash. And then, you know, I guess from the ashes will rise pure gaming, you know, guided by the few ones that survive, and it will finally be what it should be. Like, I wonder, and they keep looking for signs for that. Like, here's a spoiler. There's not gonna be a video game crash. Why? Have you seen how fucking stable, like, overall the industry is? Yeah, sure, we're talking currently about layoffs and shit happening, and that is horrible. But that's not a fucking sign of a crash. Like, also, there wasn't really a video game crash in the 70s? Like, okay, weird that I need to point this out, but the video game market crashed, quote unquote, in the USA
zone's moving.
because one company that was the video game market overproduced the shit out of everything. Keep that in mind. Atari crashed. And yes, in the USA, they were the video game market. But one of the reasons why,
Capture zone contested.
why Nintendo and Co. basically revived everything is because Sega and Co. were doing fine. Like, they were doing fine. The arcades didn't crash in Japan. There were still some home consoles. I mean, Sega and Nintendo were done at the time. The only difference was the Atari flooded the market with shovelware.
Zone's got tango.
Because their business model was, everyone had an Atari. Instead of making
Gonna take me a
good
while.
games,
Tally up all the ways this went wrong.
they hired one person, told them, have a game out by next month. You will not be credited, you will just be paid, fuck you. And then ET happened, which was just like, oh, we have the license to ET. Let's crunch the shit out of it. So it's done, it's done for the market, when Christmas hit. And we are just overproducing the shit out of that one game because it's ET. It's gonna sell so good, so fucking good. Trust me, everyone, it's ET. Everyone wants ET. No one wanted ET.
Zone's got tango.
Because people want games,
I definitely did not get what I
but
paid
like,
for. Tell you what.
there is too much. And ET was overproduced and just, yeah, why would people get it? So Atari collapsed. But the fact that the whole myth of the crash to collapse is just still kept throwing around is like, you know what the last sign was? THQ broke down. Everyone said all the other big companies are going to follow soon. And turns out no, THQ was a unique case where they just completely mismanaged the company. Shocker, I guess. Like, the fucking irony is that you can... A lot of them are, I mean, as funny as this sounds, are kind of too big to fail even nowadays. I know, you're like, wait, that's not true. Every company can fail. True. So let's just point to the obvious. They take away the string, and now it's like, they forgot to apply it. Because, like, which company is currently mismanaged the most? Come on, throw me one. Chat. I can think of two companies that currently have a really big problem with their spending and their income. It's actually kind of easy. And then tell me, do you think those companies will actually collapse in the near future? Or will this trigger some kind of wild meltdown? Because the answer is very easy. It's Ubisoft and Microsoft. Ubisoft just had a bad time right now. This isn't to say, that people don't want Ubisoft games. Quite the opposite, actually. Like, Ubisoft games sold well, like, depending on what it is. Like, Siege is still making money, For Honor is still making money. I mean, xDefiant didn't make money. And the Star Wars and you know, Avatar game undersold, but this isn't to say that those games, you know, are completely gone. They're busted. They're still there. They're still apparently being worked on, you know, sell. It's not looking good for them, you know. Eating 0K. But like, the thing with Ubisoft is they don't want to sell. They don't want to be bought up by Tencent. But like, do you really think Ubisoft will collapse? Yeah, two things. If they fuck up, yeah, they might. Then the assets will be sold off. Rainbow Six Siege goes to the highest bidder, I guess. I can totally see Ghost Recon becoming a it would just probably be sold off to various other publishers. Like that shit isn't going away. It's just gonna be another THQ. Again, if they mismanage, and Ubisoft has come back from a bunch of stuff. So like, oh my god, the Blood Ring map is beautiful. Ah yes. Like that's the thing. Ubisoft could collapse like THQ, but it's never gonna be triggering any kind of collapse. And so the next company arguably has spent way more money and has arguably made way less money. We were robbed. Sorry. Microsoft. Yeah, that's the thing. But people are, you know, look at Ubisoft like, the video game crash is imminent. No. Meanwhile, Microsoft, you know, becomes an IP graveyard, which is bad, and probably won't have a console, a console section that soonish anymore. I guess. But like, if there's no more Xbox, do you think the video game market will collapse? Did it after the Dreamcast? After Sega was like, we're not gonna do anything anymore? If anything, Microsoft will, you know, sell off the parts, or just sell off some parts and just focus on probably Call of Duty and some stuff they keep. You know, if the higher ups decide they don't want to have a full-on Xbox business anymore, which could be the case, because again, the Xbox division is just currently hemorrhaging money as fuck. And even then, keep in mind, would that cause a crash? No, because Microsoft is too fucking big. If Microsoft decided they want the video game market, they could pour so much fucking money into that division. They could just make it. I mean, they did, and they're currently, you know, it's not working out for them, but it's not gonna be a crash. People are like, oh, the current console generation is struggling! PlayStation 5 is a few million behind the PS4 sales at this point, so no, not really. Like, the PS5 is going fine. The Switch is going fine. The fuck again! But here's the thing. When I just point out the obvious things that it's fine, you know, layoffs suck. And we should do something against that. We should have better, you know, protections. Also, you know what? Guess what? In Japan, they don't have massive layoffs because of labor regulations. Capcom doesn't seem like they're shortly collapsing, do they? Any news that they have slightly removed Xbox consoles from more stores. I mean, I still never seen a Series X in a store to this day. I mean, I've seen the Series X in our current game store, but GameStop is leaving Europe, so... You know what? 20% off of an Xbox Series X would be one hell of a good deal to get one right now if I had the fucking money to spare. And you're probably like, wait, I just talked about Microsoft being like, no, here's the thing. I could stream some games. Wait, is this... I can walk over Crocodile. Yeah! Okay, sorry. I just fucking love this map. Sorry. It's great. Yeah, I mean, the thing is with the Xbox... Here's the thing. I would get the Xbox Series X for two reasons. First of all, I would put it right beside me here on my streaming setup because it actually has, you know, the form factor that it would fit here besides the Switch. That is neat. Second of all, I would stream some backwards compatible games on it. That's it. Like, I would stream Dante's Inferno. Shit like that. If you want to sponsor my endeavors in streaming old weird games backwards compatible, send me please $500. I will use them splendidly. You know what? I should say no, please don't take this seriously, but on the other hand, yes, take it seriously. I want money. Pay mommy for her streams. I do all this job for a year, and not one someone is like, yes. Here's the thing, you know what? I should definitely get into fandom because like the idea of having pay pics is really appealing. I mean, sorry. It's just like, this is not your money anymore. Buy me an Xbox Series X. But you dislike Microsoft. I don't care. I want the console now.
Capture zone moving. Get after it.
But yeah,
Taking the zone.
but again, all of this is always a sign of a second video game crash. This is the mark of the beast for the end times for gamers. It is, and I know some people will probably think like, oh, you can't just throw them, you know, in the same ring with, you know, what the Seventh-day Adventists doing. They're fucking doing the same thing as the Seventh-day Adventists. Again, so many are looking for the, like, that's the thing. If you especially look into leftist circles, not right-wing ones. The right-wing, like, here's the thing. Right-wingers and left-wingers kind of look for the same thing, but with different flavors. Right-wingers think there's a woke cabal, you know, Babylon, trying to destroy them, and one day there will be reckoning, and then gaming will go back to a perfect state where everyone is going to be happy. Leftists are looking at, you know, the signs for the video game crash, in which capitalism will fuck all of the video game industry, and all will return to a perfect harmony. Is this generalized? A bit. But you see where the similarities are, right? You see how this is basically the same wish, just flavored differently because, you know, for one side, the whole wokeness grift isn't working because it's bullshit. So you just adapt it. You just make it drone swarm. Haha. Fucking love the worlds. People have been saying for 15 years that the video game crash is coming soon. In doing so, they ignore that it was only USA as a species where Europe and Japan were just fine. As I said before, there was not really a crash. Oh my god, we were robbed. The dwarves are so fucking great. Seriously, I love area denial factions. I want more of this. You know what? If they really redo xDefiant, I hope they do it more like, you know, high-tech versus low-tech. So like you actually have two different factions, and one's like more of the Far Cry side, where everyone is just using low-tech shit, and the other one is like, you know, the Ghost Recons and Rainbow Six with the high-tech stuff. That would be cool, actually. That would be a nice dichotomy to have in a game. But anyway, yeah, there was never really a video game crash, and the video game crash right now is a mythology. It is a book of revelations for gaming people, and they want their end time so fucking desperately. Everywhere is the mark of the beast. And the moment you realize that gaming is thinking basically, you know, in leftist and right-wing circles are basically thinking in variations of the same, you know, thing that the Seventh-day Adventists are doing, it just makes so much more sense why we just keep having Gamergate, why we keep having bad discourse online, why people cling to literal fake news, like, you know, Concord costing $400 million. Because if that all wasn't true, then it would mean, you know, their prophecy is wrong. There won't be a crash. There won't be. It will just go on, and you have to, you know, accept real life. And yeah, I've been saying that because just recently, you know, with the whole Helldivers 2 recent controversy, where the devs themselves said, this whole everything is on the Superstore and overpriced to shit is on us. People kept saying, I want to believe it's Sony. Because this whole dichotomy of one side is evil, the other side is good. And you know, if the evil one just does it, you know, the evil one is... It's, again, just so you know, because, you know, people that study the Bible misread everything as, it's just wrong. Also, like, Americans, that's the thing. The Seventh-day Adventists are big. They're, like, they're not really, like, people say they're one of the 4 big cults, but they're, like, basically just Protestants in America, like, the biggest ones even. They're just really, really big. But, you know, they're a fucking doomsday cult. And a lot of people grew up with that. So, you know, are you really surprised that there are so many parallels in modern video game thinking about there will be a crash and then we will, you know, be guided by someone? For some people, this is, by the way, Gabe Newell. Interesting how they already have a figurehead. Similar to how people now make big suggestions that Valve is at, you know, the new, you know, I don't know where it is, it's like a tech conference. And, by the way, yes, they are, as a guest for Lenovo. And I'm like, are they going to announce a new headset, a new controller, a console that you can plug into your TV and play Steam games on? And like, no. Steam machines flopped. They will never do that again. The Steam controller flopped. They will never do that again. Valve has their store. Valve has, you know, the Steam Deck. The Steam Deck is selling alright.
Keep your head up.
Like, let's just be real here. The Steam Deck is selling alright. It's not... It's not like, you know... I know people treat it as the second coming of Christ.
New lookout detected.
Like, even then I think people were like, did they update the numbers? Because apparently it's just at best 5 million. Which is like, really? Again, if you're logical, why are they at Lenovo? They're gonna announce that they're collaborating with other, you know, with other hardware developers, that their, you know, basically portable PC handhelds are gonna have, you know, a baseline functionality. So, you know, Deck Verified means it works on all of them, and they're probably running on SteamOS now. So that's it. That's probably gonna be it. And Microsoft is also there, so they're probably just gonna say, yeah, we're supporting this, and like, yeah, obviously, because, you know, the whole this is an Xbox thing, they probably just want to tag on to something that costs them no money. So, you know. By the way, again, Prince of Persia map. It's kind of cool. I like this. Oh, how shocking! They announced that, and they will just reiterate it. Oh no. But no, people went and were like, Valve is gonna announce everything. They're gonna, you know, finally destroy. Who are they gonna destroy? The console market is locked down by Sony and Nintendo. Sony is dominating the console market, and the PS5 is doing super duper fine. And if everyone is gonna be like, but will there be a PS6? There will be a PlayStation 6. And if it has backwards compatibility, it will be selling really well, because hell, I will buy it. Because, like, why wouldn't I? There's enough games I still play physically. And then you're like, but the Nintendo Switch has not outsold the PS2 yet. It just matched it in the USA. You know, the weakest market for Sony anyway, which they still dominate. So, you know. The Switch will probably slow down soonish, you know, when they announce that the next one is coming out. And yeah, the handheld market is dominated by Nintendo. The home console market is dominated by Sony. And they both are probably gonna have a big old corporation time soonish enough, because why the fuck else was Lego Horizons for the Switch? Lego Horizon Zero Dawn for the Switch. They're testing the waters. Nintendo's probably also thinking about having some games released on the bigger console, because they noticed that some are not selling. And, you know, won't be the biggest product. Again, they probably won't say, oh, we're gonna put Mario on the PlayStation. No. Probably Metroid. And why? Because Metroid didn't sell. Or, you know, Metroid doesn't sell as much. Metroid... It wouldn't surprise me if we get an announcement that Metroid Prime 4 might just be come out on the PlayStation, because there's just the audience for that. Anyway. And even then... Fuck you. Anyway. But the thing is, to reiterate, people are saying Valve will destroy, you know, Valve will just announce any moment now all these things that will destroy the evil corporations and make gaming great again. And to a degree, this is kind of wild to me, because it is, you know, the whole, you know, Christ will come and destroy Babylon thing.
Neutralize all enemies.
And Tesla. And if you're cringing now, whoops, sorry, but like, if you look how some people talk about Valve and Gabe Newell, and you have purposefully ignored that this is very similar to how people talk about Elon Musk and Tesla, especially in that very special online sphere where they just make shit up. Yeah, sorry to burst the bubble, it's kind of the same. Kind of. Whoops. But I mean, Valve is just a company. There's not gonna be a big revelation. Like, oh, what if they're announcing a good the best controller on the market right now is the DualSense. What do you think should they do? Steam Controller 2.0, if they want to make a good controller that you can use on PC, has basically all the functions, they would just license the fucking DualSense at this point. Like, seriously, think about that. The DualSense has a touchpad, has like probably the best triggers in the whole goddamn... Best triggers, best rumbles. The only problem it has is the sticks. So yeah, Valve could just be like, oh yeah, we're releasing, you know, a DualSense that is completely compatible with the PS5, because we licensed it and we just made different sticks. And if those sticks don't have the stick drift, no, I would even buy that one.
Caution. Enemy echelon locked onto your location.
But that's it. Because, like, duh, right? The only thing they could probably do is more like
and/or combat loadout.
Have better compatibility for devs to have DualSense integration on the PC.
Victory achieved.
It makes more sense. It makes simply more sense to do it that way. But again, the end is near. The video game crash is coming. And you're wondering why we have so many fucking conspiracy theorists that keep on clinging to fake, to fake information, and just keep saying it is crashing anytime soon now, and then it will be great again. And this is why so much just keeps being in the gaming sphere, because I mean, hell. Just pointing it out, Microsoft rode that, for the last years rode that wave. I mean, they basically said, you need us, we are fighting, we will bring back balance, we are fighting back against, everyone then filled in the gaps. It was like, oh, they're fighting against the other one, the evil one that wants to destroy our video games, Babylon. It's always fucking Babylon. As it is known. And then it turns out, oh, whoops, Microsoft was just another one. remember how everyone just, at the beginning of this year, when Microsoft just literally dropped the facade and was like, yeah, we don't care anymore. We're just closing Tango Studios and Austin, Arcane Austin. Fuck you all. And everyone was like, oh. Oh, they're not good. And then just moved on. Sure, there have been some that were like, wait, maybe I should rethink all of this. But like, it really just clicked into place, for me at least, when you realize people are waiting for the end times. At least, the gaming end times. So the whole marketing from Microsoft was just a thing that was like a sign. And then when it turned out, well, the promised date didn't happen, the promised thing didn't happen, it was just smoke and mirrors. They just moved on. Because really sitting down and being like, thinking about what happened, that would mean maybe accepting that there is not a video game crash coming. Because, again, the two Western companies in trouble are Ubisoft and Microsoft. Ubisoft, they could massively fuck it up, or end like THQ. The world will go on, their assets will be sold off, and we will maybe have, Rainbow Six Siege under EA next time. Which wouldn't even be the worst thing, because EA currently has Vince Zampella, he's doing a good job, I'd say. Second, Microsoft. Really? Do we really need to talk how Microsoft will never fucking collapse? They're just making too much money from military contracts. The Japanese gaming industry, like, how can you say there's a collapse coming after the Game Awards, basically where Capcom saying, we're bringing back all the fucking things you thought were dead. You want Okami? It's back. Onimusha? Yeah, we said we're not gonna bring it back if Warlord fails, and it failed, but we're bringing it back anyway. Fuck you. We're just doing it now. Clover Studios is back, by the way. And we're gonna do it with a lot more IPs. Like, we're just still doing the ones that sell, but we're definitely putting money into reviving the dormant IPs for now. And you're like, yeah, those are definitely the words of a company, surely, like, just shortly before the next crash. Like, there's gonna be a video game crash. It's so coming, But like you said, well, it's just Capcom, It could be... It could be worse for others. Yeah, sure, it's probably gonna be really bad for Sega if Ryuga Gotoku Studios just farts out their next, storytelling, emotional, big wave title for the next years. How many did they announce? Didn't they announce like 3 in a row? And the Sonic Racing game? Yeah, Sega is doing so badly, I tell you. It's so bad. There was never a crash and there will never be one. Like, gaming is fine. Yeah, Sega has the time of their life. All the other Japanese companies are doing well. It's like, huh. And like, even the American ones, like, it's not the worst time. Yes, Sega had a fantastic year. Like,
Team deathmatch. Point and shoot.
one of their titles literally, like, kept winning. I mean, okay, aside from Astrobot, like, if Astrobot wasn't a thing, Metaphor would have easily won Game of the Year, actually. So, But that's like, just, it's so asinine to me when people are like, oh, it's so bad, everything is going down, and like, and then it's so like, and their sign is Concord. Concord, the game where everyone is still inflating the number to make, to make it actually any kind of problem. The number that multiple, people kept repeating was made up. But yeah, hey, let's just ignore. You know, Sony is shortly in front of a collapse. The PS5 is doing badly because, you know, it's 2 million behind the PS4 sales. So the PS5 launched during COVID with production issues and still catched up to the PS4. But because it's behind, it means it's, you know, it's going really badly. Also, Concord, yeah, you know, this was such a big blow. They are going down. Let's ignore Helldivers 2 doing really well. Let's ignore Astrobot doing really well. Let's just ignore all the games they put out this year on, you know, PC and other platforms doing really well. Like, remember how they re-released Ghost of Tsushima, like, at the beginning of this year on PC? And it, you know, was, like, a really fucking, like, their best sold title on PC? Just kind of instantly. Because turns out people just like, you know, open world samurai games. Fuck, oh fuck. I don't want this list to become longer, no. I was just thinking because, you know, GameStop is closing here and, you know, they're selling shit. Hey! Oh yeah, Rizlot Gettington, that is how you tell it. I mean, I wouldn't play it if it isn't fun. I like it. It's a good game. I think the arena modes is like... you know... less of a strength, but just so you know, the game is dead. You can't download it anymore. This is like the last big update they did. And, so supposedly there was just, you know, Season 3 coming out yesterday. With, you know, Assassin Faction, and like there was 3 maps supposedly, you know, over time, but they just slammed in everything from the later seasons. Like there's like the Wolves from Ghost Recon from Season 4. Wait, you know, fucking Blood Dragon. Yeah, again, it's one of those things where I would say, again, people really like to do shit like, oh, why did you know, xDefiant fail? And people are like, oh, you know, it was that one shot game because they said, you know, we don't have skill-based matchmaking. They do. I played it long enough. It had some form. Like that's just lied. It's not like, you know, people have any fucking clue how, you know, no skill-based matchmaking actually feels like. Like, people are like, oh yeah, like, back in the day with Modern Warfare 2. Did you ever play fucking Modern Warfare 2? I know how hell feels like. I've been through it. Anyway, the thing is, the problem of these games are very easy. First of all, it's not on Steam. I mean, okay, I can actually stop here. It's not on Steam. If it was on Steam, you would have noticed. If it was on Steam, all your Ubisoft games where, you know, they have factions from, let me just check really quickly where that would be. So if you had either a Division game, a Tom Clancy game, a Ghost Recon game, Far Cry game, Watch Dogs game, Rainbow Six Siege, Assassin's Creed now, Splinter Cell, they probably would have been like, hey, look at the new thing. That would be the new newsfeed, and you'd be like, well, it's free to play, you know what? Why not? I like it. I mean, you probably like that one of those games at least, and you'd probably be like, oh, well, you know what? Could try that. I mean, the thing is, basically, I think the best description is just the first-person Smash Bros. Of Ubisoft titles. And it's a good one. Like, the maps are from, you know, various titles. This is, you know, one of the new ones they threw in at, you know, the Division map. There's again, they just threw in like 12 maps they were working on that didn't make it, or like are still just, they kind of halfway finished them. It's like there's like a Prince of Persia map, which is kind of cool. There's a Rayman map. The Division was third person, yeah. So it's some cool stuff. I will probably also go over to the attack defense mode soonish again and see, because they added a few ones. So there's there's an Assassin's Creed Valhalla map actually, which kind of looks cool. I kind of want to try that one out. But yeah, like that's the thing. The game was a bit in limbo anyway. Like I played the alpha back in the day, but yeah, like you want to have any kind of reason why the game had more problems, especially on PC. It wasn't on Steam. You can generally have some audience on console and stuff, but usually it's like you want word of mouth for a game, be on Steam. And this game is basically one that really runs on word of mouth. Because, like I know, do you like Overwatch? But do you dislike the idea that everything is tied to heroes? And you can't use, normal guns? Well, this game, if you really think that pitch is good, well, shocking that this game was that. It's like,
I expected results, but not that one.
it's neat. But yeah, what happened is that it wasn't on Steam. There was not a lot to really play around with, so the game didn't launch with a lot, is what I'm saying. And I wouldn't say, other titles, have like similarly big variations in, what kind of guns and shit they have, but basically I played the second season and I unlocked everything before it reached the halfway mark. And then I stopped playing. I came back for, when they dropped the new maps. Let's look if we don't get a fucking Himalaya again. I really do not want to have Himalaya again. But that's the thing, right? Some of the factions just came too late. Like, one of the reasons I said at the beginning of Season 2 this game had a problem in keeping players is that... can you please stop? Okay. Basically, Phantoms, they have energy barriers and shit. So they're a defensive-oriented faction. You can still use them offensively, but again, defensive one. Libertad, healing. Mostly scanning and support shit. That's sick. Hex shit. So they're like working against the barriers and shit, but Rainbow Six Siege, it's a fucking GSG9, interestingly, but yeah, they're, what is their thing? Oh, they have, anti-nades and, electrified barbed wire, so again, defensively. You get, like, 5 more defensively oriented factions, and then you had the Cleaners, which was the one offensively oriented one, with flamethrowers, and only then did they add the Highwayman. And now the Assassins, which came too late, but, they have drip. Again, this is also one thing I like. It didn't just rip characters from the games. It took, the factions and made unique characters with them. Like, the Cleaners are just 3 unique characters that, bore the aesthetic of the Cleaners. Some of the Phantoms, Libertad, Echelon. Like, they could have just slapped in, I wanted to say John Splinter Cell, but it's Sam Fisher, I know. Yes. They could have done that, but they didn't. They could have just slapped in the Assassins we know, but they didn't. They made their own design for Assassins, and they look good. It's pretty cool, actually, and also we have Mullet Man. John Splinter Cell. Yeah, if you stay on this channel, you will notice that this kind of joke will just keep happening here. It's just John Splinter Cell. From the, from the very famous Tommy Clancy series. They're all together. Mamma mia! Eat some ass, Splinter Cell. Ah, yes, Splinter Sam. And his arcade cousin, Serious Splinter Sam. He's very serious. Again, that's cool, actually. Like, I hate the fact that this is going because I actually dig a lot of these designs. Like, Techwear Assassins is cool. You know? I mean, also, I really like the wolves because, like, fucking, yeah, heavy military clad. Yeah, I just like that vibe. Oh wait, you wrote Splinter, Sam. You know what this? You know what is especially kind of egregious about this? The fact that, you know, other games are, you know, running without, you know, without a problem. I'm not going to play Himalaya again. Sorry, I want to see Esperanza and I want to see the other one. Again, I think a lot of people rightfully point out other titles they just, you know, keep running. And fair point, they did that. Apparently the problem this game had was they said, you know, for the production costs, which were pretty high, they said, have roughly 20,000 players across all 3 platforms you're on. I think this game could have run on the Switch as well. But again, it has crossplay, 20,000 players. That should be doable, you know, especially, you know, across 3 platforms with Steam, etc. But guess where it wasn't? Because this is only now you hear about it. The one stream I do, where it's dying. It's over. You can't even download it anymore. I could still get the update because I fucking had the game still. And that's probably the sad part. It's a good game with not much to do. And then content was... They really should have... Okay, you know what really makes me a bit angry? Because I see all of this here. Like, I see the Blood Dragon map. I see the Rayman map. I see all of this shit they have, you know, basically had in the backlog. Almost done. And now Ubisoft keeps adding Steam achievements to all of their old games. Keeps says, oh yeah, the new roguelike Prince of Persia game, yeah, that's actually Steam native. You do not need Ubisoft Uplay it anymore. And I just sit there being like, you fuckers. The next Anno is gonna be Steam native. You're probably gonna make all of your old games Steam native. And you know what? Good. I like that. I really want to play Anno 1800 on Steam with my girlfriend. So she doesn't need a dumb account anymore because her account is lost due to a shitty ex she had, and I will not go into that. I just wish her death. Anyway. And if you're thinking like, is this a bit rough? No, this is really the one person I actually fucking despise, but I will not go into that. The thing is, you're doing all of these games Steam native, and you're really not giving them 1 or 2 more seasons on Steam? Because here's the thing. If this game launched with the Assassins on Steam, I bet a lot of people would be like, there are Assassins in a first-person shooter? At least I should try it, it's free. So the player numbers would be better. I mean, look at this. I know they had problems because this is, you know, the Snowdrop engine and shit, but still. There's work in there, there's passion in there. And then you have, and then, you know, they would be like, oh, hey, Ghost Recon. And at least when Season 5 hit, if they, I tell you, if they got enough time on Steam, I mean, it's more like Call of Duty in terms of gameplay, but yeah. The thing is, again, there is a Rainbow Six Siege faction. So yeah. I can tell you, if this came with the Assassins on Steam, people would be like, Assassins? I guess? I'm gonna try that. And I would be like, oh, that's fun. Then I was like, oh, you know, Ghost Recon Breakpoint, well, looks fine, new stuff, new maps, fine. And then, I say, fifth one, that is another head turner because it would be Blood Dragon. A lot of people would be like, holy shit, more Blood Dragon. And like, yes, more Blood Dragon.
Push that package as far as it'll go, or at least farther than the tangos.
Oh, my nowhere to hide. Revealed.
Get my turret up. So, so yeah, it wasn't on Steam. That is like the biggest thing, and I would probably stop here. Second, I will just keep going because yeah, there was not that much to do. They had some cool stuff to unlock and stuff, which is like neat, but like, you know, when you look at something like Call of Duty nowadays, it's a very, very fine-tuned experience in what you know, in keeping you going, okay? And I mean, I play a lot of Battlefield because I like it. I like the series. I'm looking forward to the next title, but also there was, you know, there was more things to do. There was a bit more variety, like Attack and Defense, because they just kept adding arena modes, which I mean, fine, I guess, but like, Attack and Defense is their strong point. And they never really focused on that. There was like one map per season. Well, cool maps, like, you know, the first season got they got the crew map, you know, Daytona, so if you're like, wait, that actually makes sense, attack defense going down a raceway, yeah, it makes total sense. Even had, you know, its own little payload model. This is like the experimental mode, so they just used the standard one. God damn it. But yeah, it's kind of cool, this map, because from what I know, it's like one side of the village is, you know, blah. I don't like them. Like, this isn't just, this is like, I tried playing them, you know, this isn't like, oh hey, I'm like the worst or something, just like, I tried them and none of them ever did it for me. I guess I'm just a fucking old boomer in that sense. I just like my multiplayer games. I never really got into Battle Royale, I never really got into, extraction games. It's just not my thing. Okay, I mean, technically I play them quote-unquote TTRPGs because classic TTRPGs, you need to actually, you know, get in and out of the dungeon with loot. That's the actual structure of the genre, but I mean, you know. On that note, I find it interesting how extraction games kinda reinvented that whole idea of getting loot and getting out, and the fighting is not even the main point. But yeah. It just, they don't do it for me. I like a payload. I like a zone control. That's my kind of game, you know. Drone swarm. Again, fucking area denial. I like area denial. Yeah. At least now I have a bit of Jorvik on my channel. And also the, you know, that one mode they were working on, which I mean, I guess kinda makes sense. They're working on that kind of mode. It's kinda easy to do. again, if they had focused on attack and defense stuff, they could have done more modes like that. More maps like this that play to the strength. You know, I had stuff like, you know, Team Fortress 2, where you have like 3 to 5 flags on the map and you have to capture them in order. That kind of mode, they could have done those as well. There's a lot of stuff you could do. But still, that's it. I think the servers are going off in June. There are private matches, there are bot matches now. It's like, they put in a lot. It's just a shame.
Stop, drop, and roll.
I took one here. But yeah, no, I mean, there is a petition going on for, like, save the game, but, like, no. If they don't have, like, a fundamental idea on how to use that stuff, and also, let's just be real here, put it in a better engine. Like, if they ever bring back this concept, and I think there is merit in this concept, it will be with a different studio, with a different, probably stronger vision, because just trying to do Call of Duty, sometimes, just trying to do Call of Duty and attack defense, just try to be, you know, a variation to Overwatch, because, as I said, we have now, you know, Overwatch is not doing that well because Overwatch 2 kind of sucks, but you know, don't tell that the Overwatch fans. Their precious bubble might burst. But you know, for the Overwatch, you know, hero stuff, you have Marvel Rivals. But there are people who want to have that, you know, that kind of game, with focus on that kind of game, with normal guns. That is an audience, and I think if they refocused on that, they would have done way better. And fair enough, I'd say. But yeah, this is, you know, Snowdrop engine. I'd say if they want to, if they actually want to do anything, the Overwatch fans still say they still have fans. I know, shockingly. They still claim the game is actually really good now, but... Listen, I can drink paint on my own. Gaslighting isn't as hard as they think it is. Especially if you do it to yourself. You just can be like, Overwatch 2 is good now. I really like unlocking my heroes. I mean, yeah, again, the Overwatch thing, there's Marvel Rivals now. That is just better. But if someone wants to use guns, there's room for xDefiant too. But it should be on a better engine, you know. I mean, what I'm saying, it would be on Unreal Engine 5. And people will be like, why is it on Unreal Engine 5? And then I just sit there being like, should I really break out the whole logistics of video game development and the fact that Unreal Engine is a game engine that is specifically developed for basically every single game at once, and just helps developers optimize their flow immensely, and also lets you import so many more assets so that you can actually port your games very, very quickly, and is very stable, and is very optimized, and you can do a lot more, you know, visually, and it's way more future-proof for, you know, future generations and better netcode options, and you can you can train in easier new developers that come to your studios. You can plug in easier support studios. You can actually hire studios if you're like, oh, we need a few more maps done. Hey, how were they called? You know, there were some studios who were like, we just build maps for you. You can, you know, you can just license it out because, like, oh, learning on your new engine, well, that takes time. Unreal, oh yeah, we can build an Unreal. Mapping an Unreal engine is shockingly easy. I did it, and I am fucking stupid. I did Unreal Tournament maps. They should just use RPG Maker. You know what? Yes. Glory to RPG Maker. xDefiant 2 and RPG Maker. You know what? Fuck you. I know can I want to do that game. Do that to xDefiant 2 and RPG Maker. Okay. Will we get Himalaya again? Or will I scream finally? Will I scream? And I'm saying that not because I'm biased. You know what? Totally not biased. Not biased at all. But yeah, the next one would be Unreal Engine 5, and like, the lighting would be better, the loading times would be better, the geometry would be better. You could plug in so much more efficient code, you could train people better, you can outsource better. Like, people forget why some game studios were able to actually outsource that much. Like, it's simply because either your engine is really easy to work with, so that's also why, you know, a lot of, you know, DLC stuff back in the day for Call of Duty, or even your base game maps, were actually, you know, outsourced to other game development studios. Let me just check, because, you know, for example, the Call of Duty engine is xTech. xTech is pretty easy to work with. I did it, and I am stupid. Yeah, so I did some mapping back in the day, and I also did some on, you know, I worked on like one that is lost now, because I never backed them up anywhere else, for, you know, Modern Warfare 1 on PC. Oh yeah, yes, no, why is someone voting for Himalaya? Fuck you, give me fucking Esperanza finally, I just want to show off the map, you fucking... Why does everyone want to play Himalaya? It's a good map, but it's not that good. What is wrong with people? Fuck you! Ah! But yeah. Just a thought about that. You want to, if you have it on Unreal Engine 5, just like certain Affinity again, they will just make you some multiplayer maps. They can do that. Just outsource. That's easier. Doable. That's the problem, you know, that's the thing, you know. People are always asking, why is, you know, Call of Duty such a huge output? The engine is xTech. You can fucking easily build with that. They have a very optimized flow. They can set 2 or 3 people down and you have an arena map. Similarly, hard blocks and shit, but Snowdrop engine is not that easy. You need to, you have your dedicated teams working on it and know how to use Snowdrop engine. It's a similar problem to, you know, what basically EA faced, because you're like, if you look back at the last Battlefield titles, they had a problem with output. Why? Because the Frostbite engine is, you know, it's not a bad engine, it's just a proprietary engine. They own it. Meaning, the only people really using them are their studios. So only studios who really have a knowledge using that engine can jump in and help, you know, build stuff with that engine. So this will always come down to, let's just check, DICE, Criterion, Motive. Guess who's working on the next Battlefield title? Yes, it's all of those studios. It's all the ones that know how to work with that. I mean, fucking hell. When, they basically gave that engine... Oh, yes, okay. Fuck, now I have Scale Complex as a choice. Scale Complex or Esperanza? It's gonna be Esperanza. I could sway it. It's gonna be Esperanza. Viva la Révolution! Woo! Hello. 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 If I have those 2 maps in, I might thought about just throwing into Delta Horse Lobs. Just to show people the other games I...
Booty Loops, Taste Force.
Ah! Yeah, yes, hashtag Agonia Activity, she's here. God. But yeah. Hey, Far Cry 6, also interesting. Ever thought about that Far Cry is still running on the fork of the fucking CryEngine? Just wanted to throw that out here. Oh well. But yeah. It would just, like, you have a problem there. And truth be told, they put in a lot of time to make that engine better. Which is, you know, the irony, because you now see, you know, the devs had problems with netcode. You know, they had to constantly rework the netcode for xDefiant. Even up until launch, they had problems with that. A lot of features just took time to develop. I love this. Oh god, I love how small scale this is. Oh god. I mean, you know what this reminds me of? Havana from Black Ops 1, but I mean, obviously, it's still small streets. I like that. This is walkable urban design, so it's a good play space. Urbanism brain go brrr. If you have streets designed for humans, you can have good payload modes. I mean, am I speaking the truth or not? Oh well. But yeah, better engine, Steam, more focus on attack and defense modes. The sequel to this game would probably be pretty popular. Again, we already have a bunch of stuff people like. I think, as you said, Grizzlord, you like Siege. There's a Siege faction. You can have other Siege factions in there. I think they even had plans, because there was like a huge data mine thing. This is just all of... A lot of this shit is stuff that was data mined, but you know, just kinda ready. The other thing was probably not as far into development. There was apparently also thoughts about, you know, making, you know, not the Siege factions, but like the actual Rainbow Six team a thing. Presumably from Rainbow Six Vegas, if you remember that game. With an accompanying map. It's still kind of funny how Rainbow Six Vegas was such a, like, everyone was like, holy shit, this is such a, like, one of the best games, and now no one talks about it anymore. Vegas was good. I mean, okay, Vegas had problems, and Vegas 2 was just straight up better, but it was also, like, visually, it, you know, it was during the day, so kind of weird, but, like... You know how much I would have gone wild for that? Anyway. It's just... They would have done this as Rainbow Six Vegas map! Oh, so... Oh, that's an environmental hazard on the map. Oh. I mean, I should have known. That's a neat idea, actually. We have takis. It's those very spicy tortilla chips. What do you mean with your own snack? What do you mean with your own snack?
Medic! Anybody?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Finally, a new map here.
Switching teams. Your attack.
Okay, if I opened it.
Why? Yeah, sure. Do whatever you want. Whatever happens afterwards, it's not my responsibility. Yeah, I mean, from what I know right now, they had like a few years where they reworked all the old maps and now they are reworking all the operators. So that's neat. Like, yeah.
Remember what the hostiles did last round? You need to beat that.
It's just... I don't know if I ever go back to Siege, but like... I'm just sad that this game is now basically done. I'm happy that, you know, again, they threw everything out they've been working on, because that's good.
My snack.
You're really just eating the whole garlic...
Capture zone is out.
You know, there won't be a Tunkus today. If anyone's wondering what the fuck is going on, my girlfriend just decided to just chow down on a garlic clove as a snack.
Enemy progress point coming up. Don't stop now.
She's down for that. I support her. Yeah. You know what? We just saw the beginning, but still, you know what? Esperanza, I like that map. I would love to play more of that map. God damn it! It's so frustrating, you know. I love playing all the stuff they put in and just being like, you can play it, and like, yes, cool, and then also it's just. Crunch. Did good crunch.
I don't have salami sticks. That's the closest thing to salami sticks.
If you told me that, I would have bought salami sticks today. But you didn't think of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Raw garlic is good and good for... I mean, yeah, it actually has health benefits, so like... oh boy, it's smelling like garlic here. That's a big clove she's eating, by the way. My... Yeah. No, it's just, it's so frustrating. As I said before, when Dirty Bomb ended, I was frustrated that, also, yeah, you know what, if you ever played Dirty Bomb, great game. You can still play it gladly because they just made it free. Good splash damage. Oh, you could have had splash damage if your game was on Unreal Engine. Anyway. Good game. And then it died because, you know, not enough people played it, even though everyone was like, I want to have a game that does the things of Overwatch, just more in-depth and better and with better balance. I just said that being like, it's fucking Dirty Bomb. And people were like, yeah, no, I don't really want to try that. And like, oh, you god fuck. Seriously, it's like, oh, hey, I want to play that game that does, you know, the attack defense thing really good. And everyone's like, maybe I should just invest in buying weapons for Team Fortress 2. That is definitely the good alternative to Overwatch, and not, you know, playing the game from the people that actually invented that fucking genre in the first place. I mean, I don't need to bring up the legacy of I don't think I need to bring up the legacy of enemy territory, even though that is also a dead series at this point.
Garlic smells too bad. Just eat some.
I don't want to eat some. I want to eat maybe pizza later.
But you're slightly ill.
I don't want garlic right now. Okay. Look, what was that again? Ah, the valve thing. It's fun. But, like, clearly not even there where it will be. Like, also, how some people talk about it really is just like... There are some people who really try to hold it up as this game that there is no classic, you know, balance like in all the other MOBA games. We should not have role queue. We should not have... You will have role queue in the future when everything is solidified. The only reason why it isn't right now is the fact that they just have a haphazard matchmaking. That's it. Like, the thing is, you want to play Deadlock semi-professionally, and people will start doing that. That bubble will burst the moment they do that, because if you want to play it professionally, people will realize 2 players in the middle lanes and single players in the outer lanes, and you know, if you have a lane with 2 players, you rather want to have champions that support, you know, protecting one or the other one, even if they're not designed around that. You will pick those that fill those, you know, roles better or worse, is what I'm saying. There will be a meta developing for Deadlock. But also, it is wild to me that the word meta nowadays just apparently creates a violent reaction in some people, because they really hate the idea of playing a game badly. And like, yes? Like, okay, here's the thing. What are metas? Because right now for a lot of people this basically just means thing I don't like. That's it. For a lot of people right now, meta means thing I do not like. Not anything else. It's that.
Just keep pressing forward. Don't concentrate.
I just need to do some stuff. Okay. Yeah. Because it's like meta is just what is kind of like the most sensible or the, you know, statistically the best thing. There will always be something. That is just a thing, you know? But let's just also be clear here. There's a gradient to that. For example, there can be a lot of things that are viable, but on a scale of, you know, easy to hard to execute. That is also a very, very normal thing in games, in all types of games, from co-op games, you know, RPG games. You will always have something that is generally easier to do, you know, with higher value outputs than others. Similarly, you know, it can be very banal things, like for example, you play Battlefield, you have a map with, you know, tanks on it. Well, it's kind of meta that at least someone should play, you know, the class with the RPG, with the rocket launcher. Because else you just have a problem, because else, you know, the tank just dominates. Now, meta means basically just there are some things that are better than others. Again, this could mean a lot. This could mean that you basically have something that totally just dominates because it is that good. See, for example, Helldivers 2 launch Railgun. The whole game was laid out that the only weapon that was, you know, in a realistic way, if you didn't want to put in like gigantic fuck amounts of, you know, skill and playtime all the time, was the only way to kind of reliably kill a bunch of stuff. This was, ironically, mostly egregious for the bugs, not for the bots. If you played bots, there was a lot more stuff you could actually play with. You know? There were more things to use on bots than on bugs. But the fact they spam chargers that much and the only reliable way to kill chargers, and like also it wasn't, you know, brain dead as some claimed, it was literally you had to, you know, strip off the front leg, which was a small target, and then shoot with your shotgun onto it. That was the reliable way. That was the easy and reliable way. It was still not that, you know. But again, just because that became the one way to play it, people started hating it. Meanwhile, if you look at, for example, Payday 2, you could say that, for example, perk decks like Leech and Stoic are according to the meta, because they're the easiest one to play with. And this is a fact. You want to play, you know, Payday 2, Loud, Stoic and Leech are the easiest ones. You can build a fuck ton of builds around that, you have a bunch of, you know, weapons to choose from, and even then some weapons, you know, you just don't want to pick, simply due to the fact that, you know, bad ammo efficiency. It's just like how much ammo do you get back from. How much ammo you get from pickups is dependent on the weapon. There are just some weapons that, you know, go equal, aka you can actually very reliably use up the ammo, you know, use the ammo that enemies drop, while, you know, other ones are like, oh, you have to go to the ammo box constantly. So those guys just are not picked, which that's a problem of design, but we just pointed that out. But also there are like a lot of other perk decks that you can still use because they're still good. They're just harder to pull off. Like one build I played in Payday 2 is a sociopath sniper build. Now that's a weird one. Because, okay, a lot of people also don't know how to use sociopath. They try to make a melee build, and there are no melee builds in, you know, Payday 2. But, you know, if you know what you're doing, you can totally, pretty easily play, you know, use OD with that build. It's just harder to pull off because, you know, the other two perks are just kind of easier to use. That's also technically meta. Similarly, if you look at League of Legends, yes, there is a meta, quote-unquote, because at some point people realized, well, we have, you know, 3 lanes. Certain heroes are better on those lanes than others, because, for example, you know, the top lane is such an island, it just makes way more sense that you play characters that are more self-sufficient on it. Simple as that. Meanwhile, you can roam really well from mid lane, so you probably play more characters with good roaming and damage capabilities. So you have a lot of duelists and mages there. And bot lane? Well, bot lane is supposed, you know, they should secure stuff like Dragon. There are objectives down there. So obviously you send 2 players down there, and one, you know, one protects, the other one is just really focused on getting a lot of damage. That's a logical thing. I know people are like, oh, no, Deadlock doesn't have that. Deadlock has that. The only reason you're not, you know, noticing it right now is because basically the matchmaking is shit and, you know, there's nothing codified yet. It will be codified. Because at some point, people will figure out how you play that game. Well, how you play it optimally. And the thing is, that's fine. Like, really, are you gonna think it's gonna be bad if suddenly Deadlock, you can't, you know, the game is like, hey, what are you know, two pairs going in the middle? Is that gonna make the game bad, or, you know, is a better structure making it a bit better? You know, just coming back to it, Deadlock is fun. I don't know, how to feel about, you know, I don't know where it will head. I know some people are like, Deadlock is gonna be the next big video game. Again, kind of interesting to talk about the whole, you know, the video game crash is imminent, but, you know, Deadlock 100% will, you know, change the multiplayer sphere. There we go. Oh, they have a dictator on it. Oh, they really had that map far down. That's funny. It's fun. It's fun. I don't know where it will end. I mean, they still are working on, you know, stuff and rework the map, and I mean, I have my own critiques. I'd say they probably should look at stuff like, you know, mercenary camps from, you know, Heroes of the Storm. That would probably make the map more interesting, because right now it's just, you know, it's just a mirrored map. It is a very, very basic game, all things considered. And, like, I'd say if they had something like, you know, the jungle is just, like, one type of enemy, and it's like, you know, if they did a little bit more, you know, asymmetry, if they did a little bit more, you know, it would probably make it more interesting. Also, then they can have multiple maps. You know, 3-lane map Deadlock. How about that? 2-lane map Deadlock. That would be a fucking bonanza, actually. But still, it's fun. It's a bit overloaded, I'd say, but yeah. Need to get back into that. You know, more like I need to play it again, but so much to play actually recently. Like, I mean, yeah, when it comes to multiplayer games, at least I can, you know, scrap xDefiant now. Which still sucks, but, you know, I mean, a little bit of, how's it called? Delta Force, but the big multiplayer thing I'm looking forward to is the big testing of the next Battlefield title early next year. I hope I get an invite, if they do it invite only. So I think they will do it open. I think they said it's gonna be open. But yeah. I wanna go back to my fucking blockouts. I mean, have you played Battlefield? How you're standing to that series? Just kind of a warning, I've been playing that series for a long time, to the point that my girlfriend hates it. She's like, you know, you could play, you know, I could play games with her. I'm like, that's true, but the only Battlefield title she ever liked was Hardline. So, whoops. Hardline was underrated. But I mean, not even from, you know, ironically, not even from the people that actually played Battlefield. Like, dude, this is so funny, you know. If you go nowadays into like a Battlefield Discord and like, and you ask like, hey, what do you guys think of Hardline? A lot of them will actually be like, oh yeah, Hardline, that was a good one.
Intelligent System Analytic Computer, codename Anna, online.
Let's do the cyber soldiers again. Yeah. So for everyone who wants,
Neutralize enemies and slow down the package.
I mean, I like they have an AI for her as a, okay, you know, it's not an AI, it's... People's really destroyed that. You know, I like the announcer for Blood Rings. Oh well, but yeah, the next title I'm actually very interested in how the testing will be.
Package retreating.
If everyone's wondering, by the way, the thing about the Blood Dragon people is that
Enemy nearing checkpoint. Hostile pacified.
I don't have movement penalties from guns, which is cool. Like,
Active camo.
tube-launched optical tracked wire-guided code named Tau launcher on like where does that come from? God damn it.
Revenge kill. Noted.
But yeah. Ah, yeah. I mean, that is just part of the cheese.
Past another checkpoint.
I mean, if you ever played Blood Ring, it's, you know, the whole point is that it's just a very cheesy action movie from the 80s. I mean, it's called fucking Blood Ring. And as I said before, the protagonist of Blood Ring is Sergeant Rex Power Colt. Sergeant Rex Power... Okay, here's the thing. They sell it separately, so like, just trust me. Far Cry 3 Blood Ring is like, if you ever played Far Cry and you like, you know, you really like, you know, schlocky B-movie shit from the 80s, you will have a great time. Because, that thing is just full of references, like, again, you're a cyber commando, forged in the ashes of Vietnam War II. There are cyber dragons in that game, and you ride them, and they shoot lasers with their own eyes. They literally designed the enemies to look like, to look crappy. Okay, crappy in the sense of, you know,
Enemy Echelon agent is tracking you.
Their armor and stuff is, you know, made with, as if it was made, you know, with buckets and shit. Because a lot of, you know, the B movies were on a budget. They were budget movies. And they did stuff like that to, you know, like, oh, we have, you know, plastic armor and shit. And that, you know, that saves money, so we can just...
Target down.
Fun fact, that was the same for fucking Star Wars, like...
Package retreating.
The stormtroopers, like the
soon.
stormtrooper armor looks good and shit and all that, but can you also imagine how cheap it was to produce them? It's just a plastic mold.
Enemies terminated.
But yeah, Blood Ring is great in that regard. It's just very cheesy and very schlocky.
5, 4, 3, 2.
It's, I mean, it is a very unique subgenre, I would say. And like, the sad part is that, okay, the thing is, Blood Dragon just kind of has a cult following, you know. It is a very,
Statistical superiority achieved.
okay, mullet man on that fucking chair is so good. That's... oh. That is just... I just didn't think I was like, oh yeah, right, that is my victory animation, and it's just mullet man rolling in on a fucking chair. Ah. Perfect. Perfect. No notes. Let's see if we still get scale complex, and then it's gonna be that. Someone should clip that victory animation. That's just good comedy in and of itself. Let me just yeah. So just so you think, so just so you know, the thing also about Blood Dragon, why it has such a cult following, is because, again, it is one of the cheesiest games out there. I will run that launch trailer, and the thing is, they revealed that trailer on April 1st, so everyone thought, oh yeah, you know, you're gonna have a good laugh. You're just like. You're making a game that tries to be, you know, schlocky, like really hard schlocky 80s on purpose. It's like, yeah, that's a good joke. And then one day later, everyone was like, wait, it's not a joke. And the thing is, Ubisoft has been sleeping on that game so hard. Like, I remember the last time we got any notice of that game was for how's it called? Trials expansion. Trials. And then again, nothing until this game. No! I want to find... Oh god, Scale Complex. I don't want more game. I could just put on bots actually and just show it like that. You know what? Actually, let's just look at that. Actually, private match. Okay, private match. Let's just look at that. Escort. Okay, apps. Esperanza, Himalaya. We got all of them. Good. It is definitely done by people who really love that. You know. Okay, so it's just empty. I can't actually put in bots. Fuck. Okay, which one didn't we have seen here yet? El Barrio, Mykonos, Carlisle's Lab. Damn. We were on Killstar Temple. We were on a bunch of those, but those we haven't seen yet. So, you know what? Let's just run through them on... private match so we can actually look at them. But before that actually, it's over 10 years ago. God damn it. Just so you know, the thing is, I just kind of want to show off the Far Cry Blood Dragon trailer again, because again, this is that kind of thing that was dropped onto us. And everyone was like, the fuck is going on? This is funny, but like, okay. So, the Far Cry Blood Dragon, like the official trailer, the reveal trailer. Just enjoy this one for a second.
Peggy 18.
Sausage, pancakes, and cream. Lots of it. Nouveau Palais. We're waiting for you.
It is the near future. The apocalypse has had an apocalypse. A rogue cyborg army is reshaping the world into cyber hell. And only one thing can stop them.
Let's show them how cyber commandos get it done.
Mark Force style, motherfucker! I want them alive.
From the toxic ashes of Vietnam War II, a new breed of renegade soldier is born. Part man, part machine. All cyber commando.
Fuck you.
Sergeant Rex Colt is leading the battle between good and evil, as it's never been fought before. He's on a desperate mission to bring down a battalion of ruthless killer cyborgs and save the world.
Lights out, Rex.
Michael Biehn is Sergeant Rex Power Colt in this year's most thrilling, action-packed cyber adventure. Far Cry 3, Blood Dragon. Island and children sold separately.
You see what I mean with, yeah. 2007, god damn it, that was fucking ages ago. Yeah, it's just, this game, that like, it was just a vibe, and the thing is, everyone wanted a sequel. Everyone wanted, like, just make a full Far Cry Blood Dragon game. Just do it. And here's the thing. Ubisoft kind of has this... Let me just put it like this. Ubisoft kind of has this attitude of we're not gonna do the obvious thing. You know? And sometimes I would say... That's good. For example, let's just look at Assassin's Creed, okay? They made Assassin's Creed, and a lot of people were telling them, make one in Japan. And they were like, listen, Japan is the obvious one, we should do different states. And this... Oh, I like this. Oh, damn, that's a vibe. Oh, I like this map. Holy shit. Why is no one voting for it? Fuck. So, basically, the thing that happens with that is, they're like, no, you know what, we're not going with our Assassin game to Japan. We're going and making Wonder Renaissance and Wondering the American Civil War. And then we're just making the pirate adventure. And, you know, there's a lot of talk, you know, you can talk a lot about, oh, were they good or not, but, like, frankly, yeah, I can agree that they were all more interesting choices to a big degree. That's sick. Wait. Say, isn't Skell is from Ghost Recon? I am very sure about that. That's actually kind of interesting. That's a cool collision. So it's the thing, yeah. You want to break into the evil faction of Ghost Recon Breakpoint. Who do you who would you ally with? It's obviously that sick. That's like two franchises colliding on one. That's actually kind of clever. God damn it! I hate the fact that this is just not a thing. That's a cool map. I fucking love underground complexes are a vibe. I absolutely adore the lighting on this map. Holy shit, this also seems like a good layout. Like, I love the fact that it's just like, sometimes, caves, laboratory. That's cool. That's really cool, actually. But yeah, you have... And now it's an office building. That's so... Oh god, I like this map. That's such a shame. But yeah. It's what I do. And like, to a degree I get it. So, you know, when they, again, did the thing no one expected, Blood Dragon, everyone was like, holy shit, Blood Dragon is amazing. Why can't we have more Blood Dragon? The concept is so good. Can you please make more Blood Dragon? And they refused. They made Far Cry 4. They made, and instead of, you know, making the next, you know, Far Cry spin-off, again, more a Blood Dragon or anything similar, they made it, Stone Age. And then the next one was a post-apocalypse RPG game? Like, it's not that I, you know, say they don't have creativity, but like, you know, at some point you're just like, maybe we should just do the thing that people wanted us to do all the time. Because, as you can see with Assassin's Creed, yes, I'm actually more interested in Project Hexa because the idea of, you know, assassins during the witch trials sounds actually pretty fucking cool. Like, that actually sounds like a really, really interesting setting. But I totally get why they're doing, you know, Shadows now. It's like... But also they're doing it too late now, because, you know, how many Samurai open world games do we have right now? Just this year we got Rise of the Ronin, there's gonna be a new Ghost of Tsushima. They're gonna be in 4th place at this pace. That's actually really cool. I like that the style changes constantly, like, you know, drone manufacturing here. That's really cool, actually. And again, I really like the idea of, you know, assaulting Ghost Recon with DedSec. That's just a cool collision, you know? That's just kind of cool. That's the kind of stuff they could have needed, but, you know, one more season on Steam. Ubisoft, what are you doing? It just...
Switch to defense. Deny that package.
Let's take a look at the other maps still, because we, you know, we're not getting them in the main mode. So just to wrap it up, that's just to be like, okay, we have it, you know, we have it on the protocol that we showed at one. So Mykonos, El Barrio, we had those on. We had those. What's Carlisle's Lab? Now I'm interested. We can look at these later. I think Mykonos we can even play. Yeah, actually we can play those. That's actually doable. Still, I just kind of want to capture like all of what was in this update, like in one final stream. Even if this, yeah, this means we probably will go a little bit over time, a little bit, but I still have pictures from the alpha. It's funny. There was like misaligned, you know, misaligned scopes. It was very funny using the snipers back then. But
kill or be killed. I am ready.
But yeah, Ubisoft, they just kind of... I think their biggest problem right now is really finding a good flow to get out of what they have been doing, because honestly their Ubisoft formula is good, and they had enough additions, you know, with, you know, big, you know...
3, 2, 1.
We are definitely in the blockout territory with this one. So this is... yeah. You really had to tease us with that, right? So this was definitely another Blood Dragon map. Well, that's Halo vibes, but probably would have been pretty cool. Ooh, Blood Dragons! They would have had Blood Dragons in here, probably animated even. Oh, that's cool. Block out! Oh yeah, look, there are the blood dragon eggs, I think. I think those are the blood dragon eggs. It's a weird story. The blood dragons are like on that island and they're cybernetically enhanced and... Oh, I like... Oh! Look at that! Good old PNG shit. Yeah, this is block out stuff. They were still working on it. I like that. God damn it. Yeah, it's like... Similar with this game again. This was like in alpha for years because they just had problems, and even then it was supposed to launch last year, and then they pushed it back because problems. And then they took their sweet time, and then shit didn't happen, and they just kept losing players, and it's just...
Not exactly working in the dark to serve the light right now, but whatever.
Ah yes, the unfinished map background screen. Perfect. The front screen, sorry. God, I think that garlic is stuck weirdly. I don't think my stomach likes being half empty and having garlic in it now. What have you done? My stomach is like, why the fuck did you feed me raw garlic?
You should eat more raw garlic.
I need the raw garlic for the sauce tomorrow. By the way, everyone, free meal tip. If you want to have a simple meal that tastes really fucking good, make some mashed potatoes. Make, a meat tomato sauce, minced meat, some, just minced meat fried on, maybe with some bacon, tomato paste, a bit of nutmeg, bay leaves, and just maybe some cayenne pepper in there, salt, shit. Very simple one. Tomato sauce in, simmer that. It can be runny. Just put that over mashed potatoes. Tastes amazing. Free kitchen tip.
My kitchen tip is I let you cook.
Yes, I know.
It works.
I know. You're lazy.
I can cook if I want to.
If you want to, but you haven't done that in a long time.
Yeah, but I can.
I don't doubt that, but my brain wants to doubt that. Oh well.
I'm taking weird mashed sausages and then I fry them in a spice that I don't know the English name of.
Which is in German?
Zimt.
Cinnamon.
Cinnamon, yeah, right.
Cinnamon.
No, cinnamon.
I intentionally misspelled it as cinnamon.
I'm too artistic for that. Sounded more like correction that seems like an error.
No. It's cinnamon.
Okay.
You were right.
Great. But I didn't remember the name.
Yes, sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
Because I confused you.
Stop apologizing.
But I wanted to. Let me. Ah, well. But yeah, it's kind of just frustrating because, you know, the worst part about this isn't like a game where, you know, you could technically expect them to get back to it at some point. People left. Like, with Battlefield 5, there's technically still a chance they could just get out that old code and make the next expansion, but I mean, that's not gonna happen. RIP to the Soviets, I guess. Everyone was looking forward to that. But, well. Again, it's gonna be interesting with the next title. I wonder if they have a forum again, and if I can make big essays about how to redesign points of interest on a map. Because I did that. Still funny. Still funny that happened. So, just for context, back in the day they had this thing called the community test environment for Battlefield 4, where they just, you know, they tested a lot of shit before going live, and that basically is the reason why people like the game nowadays. No, I don't want those maps. I want one of the newer ones. I want to see those. Why do you have the old ones in there as well? God damn it. And they basically, you know, they built one map on there, you know, with feedback, and I did like a really big essay on how to improve one point, and they did that with the next map update. So I can say I designed parts of a map there to a degree. I helped design it at least, so yay. Ah, God. Searching. But yeah, I think because you know, Star Wars and Avatar underperformed, that's probably the reason why xDefiant was axed after all. They kind of want to get Assassin's Creed right now. They're kind of in panic mode. And like, you know what the hardest part is, I think? Because some people are like, you know, oh hey, Ubisoft is running after right-wing narratives or anything, and you know, and yeah, sometimes they're listening to some bullshit there, but also like, I get why they're panicking. Like, as I said, I don't think Ubisoft will go down. But Ubisoft kind of had a bad year for no reason. Okay, stop. Almost no reason. Like, xDefiant I can point to what's like, just be on Steam. That was just, okay, xDefiant, yeah, that was kind of mismanaged by the devs. Sorry, bad decisions. The Ubisoft should have just said, way earlier, put the fucking thing on Steam, you idiots. Even if it was just, you know, Steam with a launcher still attached. A bunch of games do that still, you know, The Division 2 also, and people play that. It just, you know, Steam native would be the best, but on Steam would have just been better. That was just a dumb thing. But all the other games? I get it. I get why they're probably just kind of panicking. Because, like, here's the thing. The second Avatar movie was, from what I know, it wasn't, you know, the biggest. Yeah. You know what? I kind of like that concept. It's like, it's kind of interesting to have, you know, a drone operator and you still have to be on the field, and it's like, I mean, here's the thing. Siege has long left, you know, the realm of what they're doing, and the idea of having 2 robots that you control, but you also have to place yourself on a map. It's kind of cool. Like, you know, it's turning the whole idea of the disability into an interesting gameplay element, but basically, yeah, it is. It is so funny how people went all over that when I'm like, hey, Siege just came out with like the most interesting, you know, hero design in a shooter for like a long fucking time. It's like, oh yeah, you control bots, and you can switch between them, but also you yourself, you know, you are limited. So you have to actually be really good at spacing and controlling the map. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, you know what? I see where you're going with that. I see where you're going with that game. It's just... yeah, basically, earlier this year, they released an Avatar game. Basically, it's a better Far Cry game. It's a better Far Cry game. You have mechs. Well, you shoot mechs with bows, because, you know, the whole thing of Avatar is, you know, you're big aliens and your bows are big, so you can shoot through very cool designed mechs. And there was just like, you know, oh, you tame your own mount that you can fly around with. That's like, again, it was kind of a cooler Far Cry game. Can I just repeat that? It's like, yeah, they just made an open world Pandora game, and here's some fun combat, and there it is. Have fun. And it flopped. Undersold. Again, probably to a degree because it wasn't on Steam, on PC at least. And again, word of mouth travels, but the brand didn't pull a lot of people apparently. Also, I really love this one. Greek Town. Ancient Greek Town, actually. I mean, I know why they picked... I kind of feel like they should have picked, you know, Damascus. Okay, probably not Damascus or Jerusalem right now, because, you know, But, like, that's the... Like, you make an Assassin's Creed game, you should... In an Assassin's Creed faction, and what I know... you know, what I know, you know, Odyssey and Valhalla, the maps look great. Visually, I love them, and I'm not mad they're in there. But also, like, Assassin's Creed game, have one from the first game, have a map set in the setting of the second game. You know, there should be a Venice map, and there should have been a Damascus map. It's just... This just kind of feels... that this is less of, do you have an idea how it will be? Just make it a Siege of Damascus also sounds wrong. Oh, you know what? The whole conflict is over now. So yeah, you know what? Damascus is back on the fucking table. Oh yeah, you know what? If you ever wondered, this is accurate actually. See, the whole idea that, you know, ancient Romans and Greeks had, you know, those marble statues that were just perfectly white is wrong. They were painted. They were painted. All of them. They used white marble because you could really well paint on white marble. Their whole temples were very, very colorful. They weren't, you know, blank white. They were... I love that they have this in here. This is great. It's like the ancient, you know, ancient Mediterranean was very colorful. Oh god, I love this map's vibes. It's great. It's a good rebuild. You know, it's a good rebuild. But yeah, this is just like Assassin's Creed. Okay, what are the 2 oldest ones? It's Damascus, or, you know, the Assassin Stronghold from the first game, and Venice. Yes, there was Florence. Yes, there were other titles, other cities in the second game. Everyone remembers Venice because it's fucking Venice. I remember Venice. I've been to Venice. It's a great town. It stinks sometimes. It's a great town. I love it. I really want to go back to Venice actually one day. It was good pizza. I mean, everything wasn't in black and white back then. Yes, shockingly. And the idea of the white marble statues that some wank to, basically. Also wrong. Oops. Yeah, you know what? Nice one. I mean, I guess they did one, but I, you know, I'd still like the contrast. It still has contrast, you know. And yeah, that is the thing. I would say that put that on the note board for, you know, the next xDefiant game. If you
main character syndrome.
if I get to that. I like you standing on the beach in the water. That's neat. But yeah, the Avatar game didn't sell. They had marketing, they had, you know, big promotions. I know people played it, and I saw gameplay, and it looked good. Like, you know, this wasn't my forte, but, you know, I was like, you know, Far Cry games kept selling. All of the Ubisoft games kept selling. And yeah, it's kind of ironic that the one year where they have, you know, the two quote-unquote big brand collaborations, aka, you know, the game where they already made an official game to back when the first movie came out, that was successful and liked by people. Yeah, I don't get it. I can tell you. I think the only thing is that the pull of, you know, the name pull of Avatar wasn't that good. And second of all, I guess people were just fed up with the Far Cry formula. Those are my two guesses. Those are they.
Let's move.
I can't tell you more, actually. This is my best guess. Like, I get why Ubisoft is panicking. Because the Avatar game on the selling, you could basically chalk up to, I guess the brand doesn't have the same name anymore as back then. Fair point. But like, that game was almost dead on release. Like, they sold under 2 million copies, and they needed just, I guess, 2 or 3 million to break even. So we're like, what the fuck is going on? And like, I'm like, also, yeah, what the fuck is going on? That's kind of, I mean, again, Steam, word of mouth, stuff like that. But also, it should have sold better. It wasn't stores, it had huge marketing. I saw a lot of marketing for that game. And then it just wasn't. And then they also had the whole thing with, you know, that's kind of rough, but oh well. And then they had, you know, the whole thing with, oh hey, we're making the first open world Star Wars game. And listen, I am even more surprised that this just didn't work out. Like, that was Ubisoft. You didn't notice that was Ubisoft? Like, that was the one big deal. Like, you know, EA was like, no, we are focusing on what we're trying to have a good plan. And then Disney was like, can we just license it to other publishers? And they were like, sure. You know, the deal was just kind of too much. And then, you know, they made Star Wars Outlaws. And considering how much people were begging for an open world Star Wars game, you know, with a fucking bounty hunter theme, especially after, you know, the cancellation of, you know, the EA title from Visceral Games, even though that was, again, a concept game mess with a studio that was so severely it was just hemorrhaging money. People were begging for that. And I'm like, yes? It's like, I mean, that's the thing, right? But at least you could also say that, you know, on paper, because everyone was saying that, and I said, even I would have thought, yeah, they showed that game, and I was like, it's an Ubisoft Formula open world game with some, you know, the new stuff was, there was a faction mechanic, so depending on what kind of quests you take, you either rise in standing or lose in standing, and, you know, enemies in the world react to you differently based on that, and you get different quests, which is like, that's a neat concept. Again, also just like the whole, you can just be in a Star Wars game. You can just walk around and smell the roses, you know, on plants that grow roses, or just, you know, smell the sand corns and spite Anakin. Oh, look. Okay, that's the Pagan Min interview. I can like that. It's like, yeah, I was like, okay, that game probably would have sold, you know? But, like, tell me, like, it had technical problems at launch, but, like, technical problems do not gut a game. Like, if people want a game, they will buy it. And, you know, the stuff they had at launch was, like, egregious, and they fixed it, but, like, it wasn't Cyberpunk, you know? And Cyberpunk had less gameplay at launch. Like, god damn it, Cyberpunk 1.0 was a fucking barren mess, and people were like, no, you don't understand. There's actually an amazing game behind it. You know, when it didn't crash, didn't have gameplay, it just was a rushed mess that they had to get out of the door until they fixed it with the whole expansion thing. Yeah. Like, also, yeah, this is the last map they added. It's cool. It's nice. I like that they have more, you know, close quarters Havana maps. It is Havana. You know, it's the Far Cry Havana. But, like, again, how? Like, the Avatar game, I'm like, okay, you know, Avatar, the game just didn't pull people anymore. The name doesn't pull anymore. Fine, I get it. Star Wars? Even, like, I sat there and was like, why? Like, here's the thing. I don't think there is a real Star Wars fatigue. There is certain Star Wars fatigue. You know, too many shows, too many similar underproduced shows, but people still want Andor. The Acolyte was, for what I know, pretty popular. Skeleton Crew seems to be shaping up to be, like, people were like, oh yeah, that looks good. I don't get it. Like, if I would work at Ubisoft, okay? And the 3 big games I put out this year, where I can only point towards one of them under-delivering. You know, only one of them where I can say, this one failed due to obvious reasons, being xDefiant. And again, just put it on Steam, give it 2 more seasons, you fucking idiots. Why did you already severance your most studios? You are so stupid. Oh god. Just let them clean this shit up and have the next 2 seasons. You can port it to Unreal Engine. Put it on Steam. Be like, holy shit, why do people play it now? And you're like, oh wait, you can just undo a game and then relaunch it. Fucking Splitgate did it, and I guess it bamboozled enough people. It's kind of wild catching up on that Splitgate story like years later, and you're like, wait, yeah, right. That timeline from how they're talking doesn't add up. It's very funny. Anyway. It's... Again, if I was an exec at Ubisoft, I would just also sit there and be like, the fuck just happened? You had 2 big brands.
Still live, operator. I see you, showboat.
One of them is like, yeah, okay, the name doesn't have that much pull, but okay. The only thing I can say is you could have had a bit more sales if they were on Steam. which apparently are going to be now. And the rest is, I don't know. Why did the Star Wars game fail? Here's the thing. I can usually give a lot of analysis about this and this, you know, added up to things. You know, what came together, what was the build-up, and I think to a degree it was just like people didn't want to play Ubisoft games, and I guess the Star Wars name, I guess there was just not an interest. Here's the thing. I remember one thing back in the day. I remember in a report from Jason Schreier on why, you know, I'm just gonna make you a bit less loud. Sorry, game. I remember a report on, you know, why the EA Star Wars games have so much problems. And one of them was, you know, Disney constantly wanted feedback. And one of the things was, you know, why the whole Rogue thing didn't work out, the Project Rogue thing that Visceral was working on, was because they made a mercenary, you know, a bounty hunter title. A smuggler bounty hunter game. And XX and others were constantly like, where are the Jedi? Where's not the Jedi? Where's Chewbacca? You know, why are they not Jedi? And they, you know, and back then, people, even myself, still to this day, I think it's right, you know, said they were out of touch. They just thought Star Wars is the Jedi. And you have to have all that brand recognition in there, else it wouldn't work. And to a degree, I'd say, yes, it's short-sighted, yes, it's kind of idiotic, and Andor is the perfect example of why it, you know, why that is not true, but also, Andor was the least watched Star Wars show. And guess how many people watched Kenobi, a thing that should have been a movie. Then Ubisoft sits down, puts the money in, and is like, here's your bounty hunter game for all you Han Solo fans. It undersells. I'm not even surprised EA cancelled their Mandalorian title at Respawn. No matter how good it would have been, I'm not even remotely surprised they did that. But I can totally see why they keep doing the Jedi Fallen Order series. Because again, if someone is... I can say there's a Star Wars fatigue. Because the Fallen Order games, you know, those two sold. Hey, no, I actually don't know. And I've recently just keep, you know, thinking back to that, you know? And one of the things I just kind of hate to keep thinking about is maybe that fucking those executives from Disney, maybe those were right. Maybe Star Wars is in the end just a fucking Jedi and Chewbacca. Maybe it is literally just slam, you know, the recognizable brand image on it, and then people will come and fucking play it. Your Star Wars trailer will not succeed until there is one fucking lightsaber just going zhng. And I hate that, because I love Andor. Andor is everything that's right with Star Wars. It's the first time since the, you know, the original movies that I'm like, shit. There is actually, you know, the possibility for good storytelling and meaning and depth. And I'm happy we're getting a second season. But then I look at, the view numbers. I look at the the Bounty Hunter game failing. I look at all the oh yeah, I played those back in the day. Knights of the Old Republic is great. Maybe I should play those again. Also, those also sold better. They re-released those and they sold better than the fucking new title. Just... yeah. Why did Ubisoft fail this year? The three best answers I can say, that, but four things. Your games were not on Steam, you're remedying that right now, but fuck you for killing xDefiant. Second, Avatar doesn't have the name pull. I guess fucking Star Wars has to be Jedi. You put a Jedi on the front and people will buy it. Because, here's the thing. If you told me, you noticed the Star Wars game, you didn't know it was Ubisoft. I think the sad part is, a bunch of people probably looked at that thing in the store and were like, oh, Star Wars, not Jedi. Ignored it. And this is literally the best explanation for you that I can ever give. Why a Star Wars open world game failed? Because the majority of people buying Star Wars games, they go in the store, they see a Jedi on the cover and they buy it. And the KOTOR RPGs, they were re-released and they sold in stores. Probably because, again, the fucking Jedi was on the front. It wasn't the new Jedi. It wasn't even, the classic Jedi. It was like different Jedi, but it was Jedi. People see the light sword and they're like, Jedi. Everything else is like Star Wars Outlaws. Oh, I don't see a lightsaber, ignore. And this thing, this thought, makes me so fucking depressed. Because we just can't have nice things, I guess. And again, I was talking about before, about the whole, people are looking for, the signs of the gaming end times. And, people try to keep up their own little narrative. But this is ironically one of those rare moments where I can say, Ubisoft did nothing wrong. The devs did nothing wrong. People just ignored the game. And probably for very stupid reasons. Because I can tell you, this is probably a game a bunch of people would play and be like, oh hey, I like that, why didn't I play that as launch? Well, good question, huh? I mean, we shouldn't be like, oh, you need to play Ubisoft games, but also... It was just a shit year for them. And then, the side, there was talk about, Tencent wants to buy them, and now they're saying like, no, we want to keep control of our company, which is like, good. Very good. Do not let anyone buy out Ubisoft. More independent companies, good. I will tell you, even if Ubisoft shatters like THQ and the assets are sold off, this would still be better. Because then you still have the chance that someone like Focus Home Entertainment buys those parts and might become a semi-big replacement for them. It's still better that way than one big company swallowing them. Just saying it out now. And I mean, I guess that adds onto the other thing where now people are like, should I really just comment on that From Software Sony thing again, even though like the conclusion to it now is so utterly boring? Like, oh no, they're buying it out. And then it was like, and then all the reporting was like, actually Sony doesn't have enough money. And then now it's like, they just spent a lot of money to own 10% of the shares. And then they say, like, we're gonna cooperate more. Yeah, this is definitely gonna kill everything. Yeah, no, this is just like... I already have a problem, you know, that I say gaming, how, you know, people in the gaming sphere talk about video games is very prone to conspiracy theory thinking to a degree. I talked about this earlier in the stream, but also like, I don't know, maybe I'm just sitting here being like, 10% stake is nothing. This isn't another buyout. This isn't a Bethesda or Activision situation. This is 10%. By the way, I looked up the I looked up the shares of others, you know? So here's the thing. You know who are the second and third largest shareholders in from Kadokawa? You know, aside from Kadokawa owning the majority of shares because that makes them still a company, just so you know, they have 51% of the company shares are at that company, else they would have been, you know, overtaken. This is how you buy out the company nowadays. You get more than 50% of the shares, then it's basically yours. This is kind of how it works, okay, roughly. If we talk about shares and the majority shareholders, we talk about everyone having the rest of them. Those are getting sold. So the second one is Tencent with nearly 8%, and the next one is Namco Bandai with nearly 3%. Those two could overrule everything Sony would want in any business decision. Yeah, it's gonna be so bad. Sweet controversy though, you know. Oh no, something happened. Might as well preach that this will destroy everything. And I just sit there being like, really? This isn't even fucking... Anyway, I ranted enough. You saw everything about this game right now. You saw the assassins, you saw the new maps, you saw what could have been, and the sad part that this game is over, and I might still play a bit privately. But this is it, I don't really think I will come back that much. This was nearly everything they added to... this was everything they added to xDefiant with the final update. Finished, unfinished. It's a shame. And yes, here's the thing. I will totally come out of the gate and say, this is what they should have launched with. If they... You know what, I just thought the chin of this guy was like actually going down here and looking, you know, being like the Giga Chad chin, which just confused me for... Like, if you squint in that position, he kind of looks like Giga Chad, which just confuses the fucking hell out of me. Like, just don't think that, like, just think this is like his face here. This is actually kind of funny to think about. That cutout kind of hurts it now. Oh, fuck. This is what I should have launched with. I know there were, you know, apparently plans for a Rabbits faction and the Crew faction. Cool. Give me a Far Cry 3 and Far Cry 4. The plate is hidden in his shit. Yes. Like, give a Templar faction. Like, you could do those down the line, but instead of launching, you know, with those 5 up here, they should have launched with 10. You know, this is the variety they should have needed when launching the game. This is, you know, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's compare it. 8 assault rifles. Now, They patched 1, 2, 3 in. 3 were extra, so they launched with 5 assault rifles. SMGs, those were 4 at launch, the ones down here, so not a lot. 3 shotguns, I guess, you know, that was a bit more though. They had 3 LMGs, I remember that. It's still just, you know, there were 2 marksmen and I think 2 snipers. Those 2. Those came later. This is a weapon selection they should have had at launch and then added more. Because, yeah, comparing this to other stuff, like, I shouldn't, I'm aiming for the big one, but like, Black Ops 6, it launched with, let's just check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 assault rifles, so 1 less than they have now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 SMGs, 2 more than they have now. I think 1 more. Just 2 shotguns. Okay, I guess they went a bit farther ahead. Who knows? 3 light machine guns. So similar. 4 marksman rifles. So more. And 3 sniper rifles. So more. And most people will play assault rifles and SMGs. Let's just not kid ourselves here. Those 2 should have been stacked from the beginning. This category, some people like shotguns, but not many. Few more LMGs. Could have done that, but no. They didn't launch with enough content. They didn't launch with enough factions. They didn't launch with... Like, again, the map pool basically doubled overnight. Let me just say, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10 maps at launch. They were alright. I don't hate them, but they were alright. The interesting ones came later. Wow! Took a bit to get to Enchanted Forest, I guess. Similarly, if we go to Escort, and this is the strong mode, as I said, they launched with 1, 2, 3, 4. This one was the best. This one was the second best. Those 2 were... this one was the best. This one was the second best. Third best. This one was but still alright. Those easily overtook them. This one is still great, and those 3 are also amazing. So here's the thing. Notice a pattern? If they launched with those maps alone, 10 attack defense maps, they would have had a better game. They would have needed better focus, they would need better content. If they bring this game to a new engine and re-release it with a better focus, it would be, on Steam, it would probably do numbers. But yeah, mismanaged. They held back content, they drip fed, and then the game was dead. And that sucks, because I like this game. But that's it. I mean, tomorrow, as said, either playing Helldivers or Marvel Rivals. It really depends. Again, no Victoria 3, Ruben isn't there. Sorry about that. I'm not gonna continue our playthrough there. So, different stuff happening. And, yeah. I said I kind of wanted to do maybe a bit of Delta Force, but not today anymore. Not today. I talked enough and I showed all of the game. that's gonna be it. Hope you all are still having a you know, good day ahead of you, like last day of the week. Hope it's going over smoothly. Rip xDefiant.
Last day of the week?
Yeah, you know, people sleep now and then they have a Friday ahead of them.
Still not the last day of the week.
The work week.
Oh.
Except when you're in shitty countries. But you should probably have some time on Saturdays, what I'm saying. Yeah, have a good one. Rip xDefiant. It's a fucking shame they didn't port it on Steam. It's a fucking shame they dropped it. Because, yeah, I showed this game off and someone was like, oh hey, this game looks good. Can I play this? No, you can't play it. All the fun stuff in this game is dead now. Thank you, Ubisoft. Thank you, devs. I had hope. See you all tomorrow. Whatever it will be. Good night.